Hey everybody, how's it going? Good
Hello.
evening. Hello. Welcome back
Oh,
to
it's
our friends here on Slices and Dice. Sarah has things to say, clearly.
to Patrick. I will just put it in chat.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back with Blade Runner, the role-playing game, after a small hiatus where we saw our four intrepid Blade Runner slash investigator slash cannon fodder come to a distinct conclusion with the crazy events of the kerfuffles of the case known as, or the case file I should say, known as Electric Dreams. This is the new case file that came out just a few months ago, actually, from Free League, called Fiery Angels. Which I happened to get the PDF for, and am more than happy to show on stream for those of you who want to watch how this case file could potentially be played. And I've got some awesome players, of course, who have played Blade Runner before, who are more than happy to continue on with their misadventures. That said, we do have some a new character that Ben has decided to take on. We're going to say goodbye to Percival. He didn't die. Spoilers in case you guys haven't watched the first case file, but he decided to just take on a more sedentary, less adventuresome life, just nerding out over at the CIT. RIT crime lab. We may see him as an NPC, but Ben has chosen a different face to wear this time. So yeah, looking forward to that. Of course, we have Patrick playing the erstwhile Blade Runner investigator Novak. We have Julie playing the Blade Runner enforcer Oelsen, and we have Sarah playing the Blade Runner doxy Fenna. So looking forward to seeing those faces once again. Time has passed. 1 month actually has passed between the events of Electric Dreams and Fiery Angels, and so we'll see what has happened in that time between the end of that case file and the beginning of this one. I think that what we meant to do over the course of that 4-session adventure was to give out some promotion points, which we were, when I say we, meaning I, was remiss in doing. So I have gone ahead and given out promotion points to Patrick, Julie, Sarah, and Ben to utilize with their current or new characters so that they can purchase gear and or specialties to use with them on this particular case file. Ben is playing a new character, so we're just going to transfer his promotion points from Percival to Yoshida, who is his new character. So, before we get started, I just want you guys to tell me briefly what you wanted to spend your promotion points on, because you can spend 5 promotion points on a new specialty, or you can spend promotion points on new RDU gear. In certain cases, you can spend Chinyan, which is the currency of Blade Runner, on gear, but that's very specific circumstances. You can also spend humanity points to increase your skills. Blade Runner RPG uses a very specific skill system. It has your skills on a scale of A through D, and that corresponds to a certain dice size. So A is a D12, B is a D10, C is a D8, and D is a D6. And so, depending on whether or not you roll higher than a certain number on those dice, you will get successes, and those successes correspond to what you will see, I guess, over on that side of the screen. That if you do see a sort of a green circle with a number in it, that's the amount of successes that these folks will get on their particular skill rolls. What they don't want to get is stress or damage. Stress and damage reduce their numbers from their health and from their resolve. Health, obviously, when you reduce it to 0, you're broken, just like almost all Free League games. And when your resolve goes to 0, you're also broken. You start to go a little loony. So stress reduces your resolve, and damage reduces your health. For those of you who are watching live on Twitch, I've gone ahead and put up a new option for you all. to be kind or unkind, depending on the circumstance, which is to spend 7,500 Slices and Dice's Twitch channel points on reducing giving them a resolve point for 7,500 channel points, so they can get more resolve, or you can't go over their maximum, or removing a point of resolve by giving them stress, and that is 7,000 channel points. So there's only 3 redemptions of each of those good or bad things for each session, so use them wisely and be kind or unkind depending on who you like or don't. That's all I have to say. But everybody's like
friendly reminder, this isn't like Alien where we have 10 available stress points that we can get up to and we can just keep getting stressed out. Like losing resolve happens faster and screws us a lot harder.
I'm hearing a lot of fear and tension in your voice there.
A lot of PTSD from the number of times I went catatonic in the last module.
That's just Cyber Chinatown, Sarah.
Forget it, Sarah. It's
Cyber Chinatown.
Those of you who got that reference, you're probably
thank you for watching that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. My most obscure poll, but it's up there.
I liked it.
If you got that reference, you are definitely legally
You'll be
allowed
fine
to drink.
here.
Yes, indeed. And if you didn't look up the movie, it's an amazing movie, Chinatown.
It's so good.
So let's
I want to watch it again.
Let's jump into what you all spent your promotion points on, because I think some of you were talking about it pre-stream, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you pulled in with your promotion points and or humanity points. So let's start with Patrick. Patrick is Novak, the investigator, the hard-boiled crime fighter. I don't know if I'm going to call him crime fighter. He's basically just sort of...
I was going to go for more PTSD cop who's been pulled back onto the force, technically not retired, technically not 2 days away from duty, but also has no desire to try hard to keep himself alive. He's just getting paid and getting shit done.
Yep.
He is.
Noodle aficionado, perhaps, I would say. Noodle and whiskey aficionado.
Lives in his vice, but doesn't work on vice.
I'm good with that description. So what did you spend your your promotion points on?
I think I'm going to do the following. So, noting that my firearms are pretty high, I'm going to spend 5 of them on fast reflexes.
Okay. What does that do? Would you mind telling the class?
Fast reflexes is a new specialty, or it's a specialty for this game that says you get to draw an additional initiative card at the start of combat. Mm-hmm. Choose the card you want to use. So basically, I have advantage on initiative.
Cool.
Which I think makes sense considering how high my gun roll is. It would make sense that his time as a Blade Runner, literal seasoned years of dealing with and working with replicants, working with multiple generations of the Nexus, he is more mentally prepared to sort of get the drop on situations or react more quickly.
Okay. And what other, if any, things are you getting?
I'm looking at this wording and I want to make sure I'm getting it right. There's interrogator, which says you get an advantage to all manipulation rolls for extracting information from a prisoner or witness in court. My question to you, and that is a technicality that I don't seem to see any other explanation for in the handbook, is it just a witness in court? Is it just a prisoner in court? Since the word is interrogation and I am a cop, do I get to use that in interrogation rooms? Do I get to use that in shakedowns?
It's a good question. I'm going to mull it over.
But I will keep those 5 points for now.
Yeah. I was looking at that and I was like, because that's the question. Is it like from a prisoner, comma, or a witness in court? Or is it a prisoner or a witness, comma, in court? It's like, that's the question, is the wording is a little muddy.
Because there's no comma, we don't know what it is. Yeah. But I would like to revisit that for next session.
Okay. I mean,
because I can't commit.
Noting that there is a location called the LA Courts. You will find that location. I believe it's on the big map, which you guys are all on. I think it is, where is it? Like stock exchange, library. The courts is somewhere around here. Is it in sector? Where is it? You guys can find it. The first person who finds it gets a promotion point.
Well, because based on the stuff that we have, it doesn't, like, maybe an analyst or a city speaker, but I don't really think based on these
It's
sort of
literally
archetypes.
directly below headquarters.
I thought so. Okay.
LAPD headquarters,
LA
LA
Courthouse.
City Hall.
There you go. Now, it's worthwhile as well mentioning that, just
I'm
like every
taking
good...
that promotion point.
Yeah.
Now I'm not at 0. Aha!
Correct. I think that it's worthwhile mentioning that, just like any good episode of Law and Order, that although you folks are certainly cops working for the benefit of society as a whole, the courthouse itself has some power, attorney general, etc. There is a specific contact who I think you guys will come to know, who is a contact within the criminal justice system, who is the district attorney for the district in which you folks are working in Los Angeles County. And she will be potentially useful if you want to use your connections, like, for example, the way that Novak did in the last session, or I should say the last case file, to obtain additional information. You may want to utilize her at a certain point during the game. But we'll talk about that at another time. Thank you. Anything else, Patrick?
Not until we resolve that other thing. I think I am good.
Cool. Sarah, since you were talking and you got your extra connection point, let's flip to you.
Yeah, so considering once again how many times Fenna got broken by losing all of her resolve last session, I have had 10 promotion points and I've spent all 10 of them. I took Hardened, which increases my maximum resolve by 1, so I'm now up to 5.
Cool.
And I also took Origami, which says you fold a mean origami figure. It takes a couple of minutes and it reduces 1 point of stress. I can do it once per shift.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. Let me just change your...
I think Fenna, like, after having those experiences in the last case file, spent some time the last month mentally getting her shit together.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's totally fair. Cool. All right. And you're left with 1 promotion point.
I now have 1 promotion point for finding the courthouse.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Hey, it's worth it. Anything else, Sarah?
No, I'm good.
Cool. Ben, you're next. Where did we go with your promotion points that you got and investing them into your new character?
I think I messed up how many I was supposed to have. How many am I supposed to have?
So Percival had...
How many we get?
Yeah, we pulled Percival's 2 promotion points over.
Okay.
2. And then you got 6 from last session, so you should have 8.
Got it. And then that's added on to the promotion points my character was supposed to have.
No, because you started with a new character that had promotion
Gotcha.
points of 5, so it just overrides it. So instead of 13 promotion points, which would be ridiculous, you just have 8 total.
Got you. All right. So let me have to reduce one of these. I'm gonna take Smokes.
Smokes, okay. All right. And anything else?
No, that's all I got.
All right.
Stuff.
So that leaves you with 3, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Cool beans. And then finally, Julie, who's playing Oelsen. What did you spend your promotion points on?
So, since she did not do so well in hand-to-hand last time, she's going to go ahead and take martial arts, which will give her advantage on all hand-to-hand combat
Cool.
when
Nice.
fighting unarmed,
All right. Cool. How many is
because
that?
she feels like she really failed.
Does that leave you with any
So-
promotion points or no?
Well, it costs
Cost
5
5.
promotion points, right?
Yep.
So that'll bring me down to 3.
Cool. All right. Considering, thank you very much.
Oh
Folks.
wait, no.
What I'm
I'll
good.
have 4 left.
Oh, you had
Sorry,
you had 9.
I had a total of 9. Now I've got 4.
Okay. Good to
So.
know.
Um,
I'm going to go ahead and say this, that based on the fact that you folks did in fact, well, you didn't stop, unfortunately, the murder of Lilith Tyrell. You were involved in it, obviously, and to some degree, didn't really complete fully the investigation of what happened with Leia. who was that Blade Runner who unfortunately turned sour, so to speak, and killed her partner. Again, spoilers if you haven't watched, please go back and watch it now because I just told you the whole fucking plot. But I think that it's worthwhile that you did ingratiate yourself with Holden. So I think he did give you a distinction based on the amount of cred that you pulled, as well as stopping a certain amount of violence be done. So I'm going to give you each a distinction based on your previous actions. Unfortunately, Yoshida, you won't get one because you're relatively new. So Oelsen, I'm going to go ahead and say you get the marksman distinction.
Nice.
So you get a shiny badge with like a PKD on it.
Very nice.
Yeah, Fenna, I'm gonna say that you get the police meritorious unit citation, which is quite useful to some degree. It basically it's sort of like a bump in pay to some degree as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Novak, you get the police meritorious service medal, which is kind of like a bronze star. In a way, it's kind of a gimme because you've been there and done that so many times. You never really recognized for your actions as a Blade Runner because you've spent so many years in the Force, and you've seen people get medals here, there, and everywhere that really didn't deserve it. So it's kind of like being
hollow.
Yeah. It's in a way, it's like being snubbed at the Oscars like 17 times, and then finally you get your Oscar.
That's what I get for taking down a bear.
Yeah,
I was gonna say this is your Leonardo DiCaprio.
This is your Leonardo
Oscar.
DiCaprio
Technically,
moment.
that is the guy that I picked a fight with in the jail cell.
Yeah,
I'll
clearly.
take it.
So yeah, I mean, you're able to sort of squeak that one out. A couple of the old time cops sort of give you one of these, like, good job, Novak, kind of deal. Remy Crumpack, your old partner, who's still around, who's sort of, his jaw has been reset after you absolutely clocked the shit out of him about a month ago. He had to undergo a serious amount of recuperation after that. Sort of gives you this just ice cold stare from across the room as you're getting the medal pinned on you by Holden. He's just like, his arms are crossed, and he's like chewing a piece of gum. I was just staring at you. So obviously no love lost there.
Again?
Your
police unit.
Police meritorious unit citation.
Unit citation. And this is just this isn't a mechanic thing. This is just a
It is a fluff thing.
It's a fluff. All right.
Yeah,
Sweet.
in a way. So as I'm going to describe from the book, meritorious distinctions are rare and mean a great deal to the precinct and to the public. But, as it states, be careful, as too many commendations could make you a threat within the department. The politically savvy or ethically loose cops could put some distance between you. Too sterling of a reputation could also hurt your standing on the streets and within the moral gray political and criminal communities that you so often need to roam. Then again, being and I love this, the it detective allows you to pull rank and offer a few more political cards to play. Also gets you some fancy invitations to high society and could pave the way for upward career momentum only popularity can provide. The pay bump with that promotion doesn't hurt either.
Nice. So
yeah, you guys have started to build a reputation, and I think it's only fair that after the events of Electric Dreams, that a new member of the team, brand spanking new, is brought into the Rep Detect unit's sort of main locker room where everybody is milling about, and what does Yoshida look like, Ben?
He's of obvious Japanese descent. He's about 5'6", 32 years old. He's got shoulder-length hair that's pulled back, a well-trimmed beard, and he's wearing a suit that's way too expensive for a cop to be wearing.
Okay. And I think that Oelsen, Novak, and Fenna, you guys, sort of amongst all the other Blade Runners and cops, you watch Yoshida be brought in by one of the lieutenants. He says, "All right, now listen up. Got a new man on the force. This is Hiroshi Yoshida. I got that right?"
Yeah, you got that right.
Mr. Yoshida here is new to the force. He's how many years out of school are you, Yoshida?
6 years out of school, about 2 months out of the Marine Corps.
Oh, well, we can expect you and Oelsen to get along just famously, I can tell. And then he looks at you, Oelsen, and then he looks at you, Yoshida, and he's like, You two know each other?
Holy shit, Baker. I haven't seen you since we brought you into that since we extracted you. Since we patched you up and got you to the field hospital.
Wilson's just kind of looking at him like, what? And then she just kind of like shakes it off and is like, oh, yeah, good to see you. No idea who this guy is, but kind of looks like she went a little pale, like she's like she's seeing something out of a dream that she thought was a dream, and now she's thinking, maybe that wasn't a dream? Because she seriously has no recollection of him at all, except for like he looks way too familiar, but she can't put her finger on it.
Lieutenant
Kind
sort
of
of feels a little awkward at this.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the sort of cheeriness of Oelsen is just a very awkward to watch. And so he's, well, I'll let you get acquainted, and make sure you pick up your gear. You got your gear?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, yeah. So I think the captain wants to see you, if at all possible, in about an hour or so. Pick up your requisition with your squad. You know Novak? And he points over at you, Novak.
Feet on the
haven't done it
desk, coffee in hand, just sort of watching this entire interaction.
All right, well, I'm not going to be Mr. Get Together here. Just introduce yourself.
Sounds good, sir.
He walks
Head over
out.
to Novak.
Well, welcome, Yoshida.
Thank you.
This is where most things go before they hit the trash pile. Fenna and I and Oelsen try and clean up other people's messes. Sometimes it's exciting, but for the most part, it's pretty fucking boring. Maybe with some fresh attention, we can have some more fun. It's been about a month since anything interesting happened around here.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Fenna kind of crosses over, impeccably dressed as always, and sits down on the edge of Novak's desk holding a cup of coffee. And she looks at Yoshida and says, "Don't mind him, he's always grumpy." And then she hands the coffee to Novak.
Double fisting coffees. Yeah, that's right. That's
I
correct.
think we're gonna get along.
So, I think that after the four of you become relatively acquainted, I think that it's within the docket that the four of you, as a squad, I guess you would probably think, are given your assignment for the day. You're told to go up to the 17th floor. There's a guy that they have in holding. And you are told to run an old school VK test on him. That they brought him in last night after something went down. Not quite sure what. You can get more information as you arrange yourself into the interrogation facility. But this guy, supposedly his name is Ellis Vale. Don't know if you've ever heard of anybody named Ellis Vale. This guy, they brought him in after something violent would happen. And, well, let me put it to you this way, folks. I've got a little bit of a prelude scene that I want to show you all. Now, I take no credit in the voiceover because I put it in an AI voice. This is Blade Runner, so you might as well put in AI voices whenever you can. I ascribe to no AI sympathy whatsoever. I'm humans first at all times.
Hey,
sorry. At least in the real world. So let me go ahead and showcase our prelude to our first session of this case file. Blade Runner, the role-playing game, presents Fiery Angels.
Los Angeles, June 2037. The fan whisked slowly in the ceiling above but does little to dispel the thick, musty air in this interrogation room at the Rep Detect Unit headquarters. It's morning in downtown LA, but this deep inside the hulking monstrosity that is the LAPD tower, it might as well be on the dark side of the moon. Novak sits across the table from a dark-haired young man with a black eye and a sullen disposition. The rest of you are watching through a one-way mirror from an adjoining room. The prisoner is a service technician at Wallace Corporation by the name of Ellis Vale, a simple man with no off-world potential but a spotless work record. Until now, early this morning, he was arrested at the Wallace Corp HQ having gained unauthorized access to its massive replicant memory vault. When confronted, he reacted violently and displayed extraordinary strength. It took an entire squad of security guards to take him down. Given the target of his infiltration and his physical capacity, Ellis Vale was handed over to the Rep Detect Unit for interrogation. His right retina has no serial number, as any Nexus 8 or 9 replicant should. None of the older Nexus 6s should be alive today, given their limited lifespans. You have been given an old vintage Voight-Kampff machine to learn what Ellis Vale is. Human or replicant.
All right, so that's the situation. It looks like the four of you have been brought to interrogate Ellis Vale to determine whether he is a human or a replicant. And I think Novak was, as he's kind of an old hand at this, probably understands how to use a Voight-Kampff machine probably the most. He's been chosen to deliver this particular interrogation using this item. So with that, first I'm gonna go ahead and show you all a mugshot, which is great. I'm gonna show you a mugshot of Ellis Vale. I'm gonna drag it onto the screen for you. And
nice.
There's Ellis Vale. We'll just leave that there for now. And here, let me give you some music because it's just dreadfully silent. I feel like we need to have some music here. There we go.
Yeah, as this is going down, we're those of us not administering the test are behind the glass, and Fenna is like right up in front of it, like kind of like leaning forward with her hands on the little ledge, utterly fascinated to watch this process.
Absolutely.
She kind of turns and looks at the others and says, "I've always wanted to watch one of these."
Yeah, I mean, the room is relatively small. It's just got the 2 chairs, the table, and the Voight-Kampff machine, which boots up. You guys can hear it sort of turning on as Novak turns it on. You hear the sort of chips and beeps as it turns on, and it extends this sort of strange-looking arm, which has an eye. What do they call those things? With the eye sensors on them. They call them the what's it called? Something sensor with the eye sensor.
Ocular sensor.
An ocular sensor. I almost said rectal sensor, but I definitely thought that was the wrong
Retinal.
choice.
Retinal.
Retinal
Yeah,
sensor.
not rectal.
Wrong
retinal.
end.
Different kind of test.
Wrong end.
Yeah, it looks like an eye. Yeah, so the eye extends just sort of upwards and shows this retinal sensor on the end of it and just points towards this guy's eye. You can sort of see magnified in the sensor his eye, as well as all of the different sensors and displays for the Voight-Kampff machine.
Do I have specifics to read for this?
You do, and I'm going to give that to you right now. I'm going to give you specific
you.
questions that are going to be for this situation here. So let me just give that to you. Give me 1 second. Okay. Here's the handout that I'm going to give to you. I'm going to give this to all of you so you all can see what the questions are. So, here's the 5 questions, or actually it's many more. I beg your pardon. It looks like it's 7 questions, actually. So you can ask them in any order you would like, or you can even make up your own if you want. It's up to you. So tell me what this looks like. As you sit down, like give me some amis, give me some chutzpah here.
So I think when Novak walks in, he throws his pea coat on the back of the chair, and he's just wearing a not quite threadbare, green, like faded green, nearly gray Henley. You can see the Docker's clutch open and on top of it. The gun is in the holster. The snap is on, but it's within reach. He's Novak. I think he is working intently to look as bored as possible, but he is on his toes about this. I think he has sort of like a peripheral awareness of the energy coming off of this guy. And I'd love to roll an insight if you need. But he's sort of gauging, is he already looking tuned up? Because they don't use VKs much anymore, correct?
No. VKs have been phased out for the most part.
So this is technology that is so old he doesn't have trouble with it, like all the computer shit he had trouble with last month.
Well, the reason why you're given the Voight-Kampff machine specifically is because it was relatively accurate, and also because of the fact that replicants, Nexus 8, Nexus 9 replicants have serial numbers on their eyes.
And it's not under us.
And there is no serial number. But the kind of strength that this guy showed when fighting off the police, I mean, either he's really strong or something's weird. If he's a Nexus 6, then it doesn't make any sense, because Nexus 6 has all had limited 4-year lifespans. Way past 4 years since Nexus 6 first came out.
So then, I would like to insight on his just sort of general demeanor.
Okay.
And do so under the conditions of looking like I'm fidgeting with a dusty piece of technology.
Okay, that's fine. So go ahead and roll your insight. Okay. So unfortunately that's 0 successes. Yep. Do you want to push that?
Yeah, I'm going to frown and fiddle with the machine and use that as a push to try and be discreet about getting a vibe on him.
Yeah, you sort of look over at him. He doesn't give you anything. And then you sort of frown and he sort of notices it and goes, something wrong?
Nope. Double fail.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna frown and go. It doesn't seem to be lining up correctly. It's more of a rectum than a retina on this one. And he's going to try and just adjust the sensor. And then he's going to sort of shuffle the paperwork, clear his throat extra loudly, and sit down and start looking over the list. I think as he sits down in the chair, he's going to be pretty relaxed about it, and he's going to light up a cigarette.
Okay.
He's going to break out the smokes for a minute, and he is going to look through the questions and sort of address this gentleman. All right, here, Mr. Ellis Vale. You are walking on a frozen lake. The ice gives way and you fall into the dark,
Is this a
cold
test?
water. You fight to get up, but you can't. From underneath the ice, you see someone coming. Who is it?
Is this a test?
Please look into the machine.
He looks, he stares, he goes, what's going on?
Please answer the questions. You can use your imagination. Can't you?
Sure. He says,
Humor me.
That looks like a really old machine.
Yeah. It's a bit more unconventional, but trying something a little different today. You just happen to draw the lucky number. So let's try that one more time. You are walking on a frozen lake. The ice gives way and you fall into the dark, cold water. You fight to get up, but can't. From underneath the ice, you see someone coming. Who is it?
I don't know. Who do you think?
Please answer the question.
I did.
Let's try something different here. You're in a forest. A little bird, the yellowthroat, is sitting on the ground. It's trying to fly, but it can't. It's chirping in panic, exhausted. You're just standing there, paralyzed. Why is that?
This is a question? Why are you asking me this?
Please answer the question, sir.
He sort of leans over the table at you and he goes, Hey, do you enjoy your work?
If you don't use your imagination and answer these questions, then the machine's not going to work properly. And in order to continue to expedite your ability to get out of the chair, it helps if you answer the questions.
You like serving the high and mighty like a good little soldier?
High and mighty. High and mighty, like thinking you're above answering some questions.
He sort of leans back in the high back chair, the leather high back chair. It still says Tyrell Corp on it. It's one of these old Left Behinds. Still around even after Wallace absorbed it. Make an insight check, please.
Yes, sir. Success.
There you go.
One success. By the way, we've had our first redemption from chat, and that is giving a single stress to Novak. Since he failed that push.
Thanks, guys. Down to 4 resolve.
Down to 4
That's
resolve.
fine for now.
In fact, let me just check pushing, because it says if you fail a base dice roll, you can push the
yeah, might be one.
roll. This means you get to reroll the dice, but any one, meaning any unicorn, one rolled when pushing will inflict stress. So he didn't get stress from the push. It's only when he rolls a 1 on the push. But you got the stress from chat.
Yeah.
So
and I did just roll a unicorn on Insight.
But that's okay, because
I got the success.
you still got
Alright.
the success.
Yeah, we didn't deal as much with the unicorns the first time around as critically. So
Yep, unicorns are ones.
So yeah, so success.
Yeah.
What do I talk to me?
What do you glean? You glean that something is wrong. You're not quite sure what this guy is all about. His responses are not the kind of responses that humans or replicants would give. It's almost like he's toying with you. Weird.
Am I getting any readings off the machine, or is his evasiveness causing? Because, like, in the movie when it's literally focused right on the retina there.
Yeah.
There's no movement tracking. There's no reading of dilation. There's no.
You see dilation, but nothing above
Okay.
or below board of what you would normally expect for a human or replicant. Yeah. So, yeah.
Mr. Vale, can you tell me why you think you're here today in your own words?
And then he just stares at you. Like a dead stare.
Oh, not so chatty now, huh? Usually an admission of guilt, that one. No protestations about a little soldier telling you to answer some questions?
You're an
Mr. Vale, can you tell us why you're here today?
He says, you're really interesting.
Thanks, my mom made me that way. Can you answer some questions for me, Mr. Vale?
He doesn't respond.
Is there there's nothing... Novak's intrigued. Because it's not a lack of thought. It's an operational unit. He's choosing to react to my boring business as usual nature. But he's trying to prod for stuff, and that's a little too inquisitive for most reps. When he changes from answering my questions to countering with a question, am I seeing any spike in his activity, retinal activity?
Make another insight roll.
Maybe. Success.
When you notice his emotional responses on the machine has no conclusion. It doesn't, ping one side human, other side replicant. It just stays straight in the middle, which is worrisome. And by this point in time, even with really good replicants, you'd probably be able to tell by now. But you can't. And his emotional vapidness and his sort of ability to ask questions of your questions belies in intelligence.
In my time skirting the grittier side of the police force, have there ever been whispers of Nexus units that are more independent in thought?
Not that you've been made aware of. What are the rest of you folks doing? I know that you're watching from behind the glass in the interrogation room. But what's going on in there?
Oh, Yoshida's just watching intently. He's never seen anything like this.
Oelsen, Fenna?
Would Fenna know how a Voight-Kampff machine works?
I don't think she's ever had it.
She's never had it
used
done,
on
but
her.
does she like would understanding the mechanics of the machine, like how it actually determines whether someone is human or replicant, would she know what those are?
I think so, yeah. I think that she probably
Okay.
would, yeah. It's probably part of historical analysis when you're taught within the RDU.
Okay.
Oelsen?
Oelsen is just watching. She's trying to pay attention to all the different little cues from body language but trying to stay focused because it feels, it's basically like a psyche eval, and she just went through one of those recently, so she's trying to stay focused on what what's going on and not let herself slip into her own head.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Back to you,
Fenna's
Novak.
honestly kind of thinking about how she would answer these questions.
That's totally fair. Every right to.
Oelsen's doing the same thing.
Can you give me the exact wording again on how he was brought in? It was a physical strength altercation.
Yeah, he was brought in because he was arrested at Wallace Corp. He gained, according to what you were told in the briefing, that he gained unauthorized access to the replicant memory vault. A place that I think that you guys are keenly aware of what it's all storing. And that when he was confronted, he reacted violently and displayed extraordinary strength. It took an entire squad of security guards to take him down.
Mr. Vale, I'm going to ask you again. Do you know why you're sitting here in front of me today?
Why are you sitting in front of me?
Well, because I've been asked to come and talk to you.
Why?
Well, you were going somewhere you weren't supposed to go.
Who says?
Who says you were authorized to go there?
Who says you're authorized to do anything? You can tell his tension is rising.
Please enlighten me as to the authority that you think you have.
He sort of leans forward and says, "Let me enlighten you." He raises his hands, which you can tell have been cuffed with these plastic cuffs.
Yeah.
And with a swift motion, just pulls them apart and lunges over the table at you. Let's all
Fast
roll
reflexes.
initiative.
Yeah,
Yes! That's how
there
you
you
do
go.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Okay.
so here's where we're gonna go into. There's no map for this, so totally fine.
Yep.
Let's just go into combat. So let's get everybody's initiative cards drawn. Now,
Remind me where initiative is on this sheet.
good question. I don't believe that we found initiative technically on the sheet. So I remember that we just rolled d10s, and then went from there.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Or we can use, and this the great thing is that this does come with an initiative deck, so we can use that as well if you'd like.
Either or.
Whatever you prefer.
Let's just go with the initiative deck. How about that?
You're the Blade Master.
I
Sounds good.
am the game runner. Blade Master
Game runner.
was my father, but that's fine.
You're the Blade Apprentice.
Okay, let's see. Show initiative
Let's do
deck. Let me get rid of
He's the Blade Padawan.
The Blade Padawan. Let me get rid of the mugshots, since I think it's pretty clear what we're going to do here. Let me just shuffle the deck. And there's our lovely initiative deck here. And I'm going to just,
We can draw.
You can draw?
Yeah, we can draw.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we have the power.
So draw
I'm gonna draw
yourself
deuce.
some cards, and let's see what everybody gets.
Ooh, I got a 10.
I got a 3 and a 5.
So I'm going to put everybody's turn order. Oh my god, the cards are humongous. Ah!
Oh my god!
The cards are so huge. Let me just put the
Giant
if you
monoliths.
have the cards, let me just add your turns to our friendly turn order here. And we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And add a turn. All right, so let's go with Fenna, Novak, Baker, and Yoshida. Fenna, what was your initiative number?
10.
10. All right, Novak, what's yours? Now,
Five.
you get. I believe you get. Do you get the option of 2?
Yeah, I get 2 and I get to pick one. So I drew a 3 and a 5, and I'm taking the 5.
Okay.
Wait, it goes low to high, right?
It goes
Is it
low to
always
high.
low to high?
It's
No,
always
I'm
low
gonna
to
do
high.
Sorry.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
With
it's-
Free League games, it's always low to high.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Novak gets a 3. Baker, what'd you get? Oelsen Baker.
Okay, so do I click on the deck? Is that what I'm doing?
I can just deal it
Okay.
to you if you like.
If you hover over the deck, a little pop-up should appear and you can click draw.
That's what I do. Okay. So draw 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay. Okay.
And then it should be down at the bottom where your name is. It says Oelsen. And then you can just drag it right from there onto the board.
Maybe.
Click it so that it pops up and then
There.
you can drag it for a little
Okay.
pop-up. There you go.
Got it.
What'd you get?
8.
8. Okay. And Hiroshi Yoshida, what number did you get?
4.
4.
Nice.
All right. Now, like Novak, Ellis Vale also has fast reflexes, which means he gets to also draw from the deck and choose the lower of the two. So I'm going to deal 2 cards to myself. And let's see what I got. I got a 9 and a 2. So Ellis Vale.
Ooh,
All right.
shit.
Ellis Vale is.
So I also have fast reflexes. Should I draw a second card?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. You should. Yeah. Draw a second card.
This is the way we learn the game.
Oh, okay. There. 1 less. 7.
So you got a 7? All right, so you got a 7.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to now. See, that wasn't so hard, everybody. We did the cards thing. Hey,
Hey.
we did all the cards. I'm going to recall all the cards. Recall all. And then I'm going to hide the deck. And we're good to go. All right, so Ellis Vale is up first. Let me go ahead into his sheet here. Yeah, here we go. So Ellis has no weapons, but he just lunges across the table at Novak and will attempt to punch you in the face. Now, Ellis has, like, I believe it may be, I think it's Oelsen. Oelsen, you have martial arts, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Oelsen has martial arts, which means he has advantage on all close combat rolls when fighting unarmed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so here we go with an unarmed smashy in the facey. Okay, that is, wow, what a shitty roll.
Ooh.
Did you guys see that? 2 1s and
Double
a 4.
unicorns.
Yeah.
Hell
That's
yes.
amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, I think he, like, just in the nick of time, Novak, you see his fist just come right at your face, and you dodge out the way, and he punches, like, straight through the fucking back of the chair.
Cool.
Let me just double check on close combat rules. Now, I know we're probably going to miss a whole lot of stuff, but I do have some handouts for y'all, which are the rules for the game. So if you go ahead and take a look at tables, you'll see a little thing that says mechanics reminders.
Ah, nice.
Mhm.
So one of them is close combat. So close combat requires an opposed roll using the skill for the weapon that they are using. The winner of the opposed roll, even if it's the defender, hits the loser and inflicts damage equal to the weapon's base damage rating. So, technically speaking, this is an opposed roll. So Novak, you can, in fact, just roll close combat, and you actually may hit him.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. That's okay.
So
I think
yeah,
I know what I'm
I
gonna
think
do.
you dodge out the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can push the roll. I am the attacker here in this case. Ellis Vale is, in fact, the attacker. I can push the roll even after the defender has rolled. But I can only push if I haven't rolled once. The only thing I can push is that 1-4.
Is that 1 die?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and push that
Yep.
to see what happens. All right, here we go. I'm going to
Oh,
push it.
please. Starting with blood is the best way for Novak to get into character.
Nice.
So, so here's what happened. I rolled again a 4 on my push.
Well, there you go.
So nothing happens.
Lovely.
All
Okay.
right. That is Ellis Vale's turn. It is now William Novak's turn.
I would like to fire I'm going to use my Sonic Blaster.
Okay.
And I think as it's basically, so like, I think as he took the goading exactly the way I wanted, I'm just going to fall backwards in the chair and sort of Han Solo it so that the Sonic goes off next to his ear.
Oh,
If
nice.
this works.
Okay.
Nice.
3 success.
3 successes. Now that is technically a critical success.
Yes.
Because you get, so you can roll your critical, as you can see in the actual thing right
I'm
there.
back, baby.
And let's see what happens.
How many extra successes is 2, right?
That is correct, 2. So that makes a whole lot of sense. Look at that. You shot it right next to his ear. His whole ear just got
Oh,
got
shit.
torn off.
Yeah.
And it does
I
3
love
damage
this.
to him.
This is
And
this
his
is,
and he has a cracked skull.
And he has a correct skull.
yeah, no shit.
Oh, actually, no. You could choose. You could choose which one. That's the whole point with 2 critical successes. You
Oh,
choose
okay,
which one you
gotcha.
want. So
Can
I'm not going to tell
I-
you which one you want to choose. You tell me. Correct skull or ear torn off.
Game Runner, can
Yes.
I beg for an exception within the reasonable realm?
I guess it depends on what that exception is, Patrick.
Could I shatter his eardrum instead?
Well, I mean, it has the same sort of mechanical effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't want the physical damage. I just want him to be completely disoriented.
yeah, he is completely disoriented. It's not a lethal critical injury. It is literally just disadvantage on all observation rolls.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. So yeah, he just
perfect.
grabs his ear, which is bleeding profusely, and he's just like ah! As this sonic round goes off in his general vicinity. And I think with that, Yoshida, Baker, and Fenna see what's going on and probably jump into action.
Indeed.
For my free and my movement, can I just sort of, using that movement, can I have kicked the chair back on my triple critical and just sort of stand up and sort of clean out my own ear as I keep addressing him?
Sure, I'm down for that. Love it. All right, so that was 3 damage to him.
And I'm just going to say, I'm sorry, I wasn't finished talking. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Yoshida, you're up.
I'm gonna run in there and try to restrain him.
Okay, so you note that there's a door into the room. If you run into the room, you're gonna take an extra move to get in there. That's a sprint, so that's your action. If you,
that works.
however, I'm gonna give this to you if you want to use it. If you want to shoot through the glass and jump through it, then you will be in there. Or actually, I wouldn't say shoot through the glass. If you want to jump through the glass, shattering it, then you'll still have your action. But it's going to require a mobility roll.
I think it's a force roll actually
Let me double check.
to break glass.
Well, I think this. I'm going to double check in this.
Oh, okay. Maybe the scenario has
It is the
something
scenario. Oh no, it is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
possible to move through it with a force roll. That is correct. Thank you, Sarah.
different. Welcome.
I think I'm just. I don't think I want to break the glass on my first day, so I'm gonna take double movement,
Okay.
run through the doors.
Okay, so you throw open the door. Novak, you see Yoshida running into the room. He's got his hand on his PKD. It's about to be drawn. All right, let's move on down to Oelsen.
Well, door's already open, so I don't have to open it, so I can just move and then still take an action, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
So-
No, to get into the room is because you're going through 2 zones, right? So that just to get in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you want to sprint, you'll get in there too.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. And then it looks like it's Fenna's turn.
All right. Fenna's gonna do what Fenna does, and she's gonna get on the intercom. Because
Okay.
manipulate is inaudible. Is the only requirement. She's gonna get on the intercom, and in her calmest voice, say, "Mr. Vale, we understand you're upset, but if you'll just settle down and answer our questions, I'm sure this can all be resolved quickly."
All right. Make a manipulation roll, please. This is going to be contested by his.
It's 1 success,
All right.
and I'm not gonna push.
And he had 0 successes, and he will push. Let's see. Push matrix on that one. So he had a D6. So that's a 5, a 2, and a 3. He's gonna push the 5. So no successes on that one still.
Okay.
Okay, so I should have pushed all of them. Shit, I fucked up. That's okay.
Yep.
I should have pushed all of them because they were all failures. No worries. So yeah, I guess your manipulation suggests that he do what essentially? That he give up?
That he calm down and speak with us. Yeah, so I'm trying to tell him to stop.
I'm gonna tell you what.
attacking, basically.
I'm gonna have him actually take a point of resolve instead
Okay.
of health.
That's fair.
But at this point in time, he's still quite aggressive. But you're still in the outside
I'm still in the
interrogation.
room.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
fair.
in the observation area
Right
still,
on.
yes.
Okay, cool. Ellis just goes for. I guess he goes for Yoshida, since Yoshida's run into the room with his hand on his gun. So he just runs at Yoshida with his hands right around around your neck.
Hand to hand.
Yep, hand to hand. So we're doing a close combat roll here.
Nice.
Yep. There we go.
Nice.
2 successes and 1 success unarmed. So with that, I can push the roll because I'm the attacker. And let's see what I can do. I'm gonna push. I can only push the 2. I'm gonna push the 2 and the 2. Whoa! Fuck.
Oh shit!
Okay. Well,
man.
that's a 9, a 7, and an 11. That's 3 successes plus the critical. That's 4
Yikes.
successes.
Oh damn.
Ouch.
I think I figured out how to do this pushing shit on this fucking roll 20. On this roll 20 character sheet here. So, okay, that's 4 successes. Ouch! Now, the critical die simply means I get to choose the... I have three criticals here, looks like. But I get to choose which of these 3 gets inflicted on Yoshida. So here we go. Here are the crits. So 3 extra successes. So, oh god.
Yoink!
A broken neck, a broken nose, or a gouged eye. I'm gonna start us off kind, just because I'm a kind person. I'm gonna say broken nose.
We're actually gonna completely lay out Ben's new character in the first
Yeah,
20
broken neck in the
minutes
first
of
20 minutes of the game. That's really...
Teach you
that's
to bring new characters into my game.
Suddenly Percy is pulled out of the lab.
Time to do a new character.
Yeah, exactly. No, broken nose is gonna be your critical for this particular attack. Woof! Jesus. And it does 4 damage to you, Hiroshi.
Yikes.
So that brings you down to 1 health, I think.
It does.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
So I think
Question.
Ellis just he just palm strikes you right in the face, Hiroshi. And just blood spatters everywhere, and you fall to your knees, you crumple, and just blood starts fountaining out. This means, with a broken nose as a critical injury, that you have disadvantage to observation rolls. Just like the blast that was done to Ellis Vale. Woof! Okay, that is Ellis's turn. My god, this game. I just when you thought Alien was like the most brutal fucking game ever. Goes right into it. Willem Novak. No relationship to the other Willem. Your turn.
Is he still completely locked in melee with Yoshida?
No, he's not locked in. He gave him a fucking... Yoshida tried to block it, but he just came in and palm striked him right into the face.
Great. Sonic to the foot. I'm going to try and disable this guy.
Okay. So that's an aimed... So that's a called shot. If you want to do a called shot, that's a specific mechanic to that.
Okay.
Which I'm going to remember in a second.
Basically, it means it won't inflict damage, but for example, if you
Right.
want to say that he is
Pinned.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can pin your enemy, or drop
he
a
drops
weapon, or falls to the
prone
ground.
or push back. Yeah.
Great. Falls to the ground on that success.
Okay.
I got a
Yep.
9.
1 success. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I am not going to kill this animal, but I am going to drop it.
Okay. So you can. So you shoot him in the leg.
I'm going to shoot him in the foot.
In the foot?
And just sort of like with the Sonic, I want to kind of sweep the leg out from under him.
Cool.
Like almost like kind of ricochet the shot so that his ankle buckles.
Okay. All right, but it does
I
no
said
damage.
That's fine.
Yep.
I said we weren't done here.
Okay. And anything else, Willem?
Unless I can, with a strength or a force check, put my boot on his throat. I think that's
an
it for
action.
the turn. Yeah, no, that's an action. No, I'm gonna keep my options open for next turn.
All right, Mr. Yoshida.
All right. Everybody assumed when he reached under his coat he was gonna pull his PKD, but what he actually pulls out is a wakizashi.
Those of you who may not know what a wakizashi is, well, actually, you know what? Ben, please tell us what a wakizashi is. Oh, it's that thing.
Yeah.
That one.
Yep.
Oh,
I thought
pointing
so.
the wrong way.
It's the one.
Yeah.
You got
The
two.
low, one on the lower level.
It's the big one or the little one?
It's the little one.
It's the little one.
The katana is the big sword that everybody knows. The wakizashi, its name means house sword. It's a shorter blade meant to be used in confined spaces.
Close when replicants are near.
Right?
Okay, so
I
yeah,
keep it handy for close encounters.
fantastic. So shing, you pull it out, and what do you do?
Oh, yeah, he straight up hamstrings him with it.
All right, make your roll. Oh, you
got
did
two
already.
successes.
2 successes. So okay, now that is that's a close combat roll.
Yes.
So he's going to make a close combat roll as well as a defender. Did you call it waka?
It's his walking sword.
Oh, it's a wakizashi. I thought it was W-A-K, but I like the way that you put it like I'm walking down the road, wakizashi. Cool.
Two swords fall into a coat.
He's a Marine. He doesn't spell real well, so.
Totally fair. Totally fair. All right, here we go. Yeah, failure.
There we go.
Roll your damage.
Do I hit the crit or the damage?
No, you didn't crit. Well, actually, no, you did. You did crit. So you just
You rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10. So go ahead and hit that critical and say 1. Oh my God!
What? No! God damn it!
He called hamstring, so I assume he just
Nope.
slices the. No.
Nope. He did. That's the whole thing.
Okay.
If he
that's-
wanted to go for a called shot, then there would be no damage. He's already on the ground, so you can't really do more than that.
You could pin him.
That's up to you. Ben, what did you intend to do? Did you intend to chop his fucking head off?
No, I did not intend to chop his head off. I intended to hamstring him and make him immobile.
Cool. That would have done some damage to him. So I'll ask you then just to roll the damage and no crit.
Got you. Okay.
I did really want his head, like the whole head of his, like,
No.
like Kill Bill style, just like.
Yeah.
Guess we'll never know why he was trying to break into the memory center.
All right, so he takes 1 damage.
God, I missed this game.
Okay, very good. Anything else, Yoshida?
I believe that's all I can do.
Okay, Oelsen.
Alright, so he's taking quite a bit of damage at this point. And still fighting back.
Sure is.
Doesn't really care.
Doesn't give a shit.
Alright. Alright.
Oelsen gonna do what Oelsen gonna do. Do I need to put on the Conan the
I feel
Barbarian
like I need
music?
to
Is that-
restrain myself. I don't
need
feel
this
like
guy
we should
alive,
be killing
guys.
him yet.
Yeah, we need him alive.
That. So she's gonna try to restrain him.
Okay. So that's actually a close combat move. That's like a grapple, essentially.
Yeah.
Can I try to like knock him unconscious? Like in a hand-to-hand thing?
Well, if you crit, you can't like just knock someone unconscious unless they are at like when you knock someone unconscious, they're broken. Right? You can't just like knock someone out like you're gonna like hammer fist, judo chop, right? That comes with the game itself. But you can choose
yeah,
critical
we're gonna try to
injuries. Like
restrain
if you
him.
get critical injuries, you get the ability to choose what critical injury you inflict.
I think a grapple is also a
Okay.
called shot, isn't it? If she just wants to grapple him.
Let me check. So a grapple. Here we go.
Grappling.
I've got it.
If you grapple your opponent as a special attack in close combat, both you and your opponent fall to the ground. Opponent drops any weapon. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a
you
close
can-
combat roll.
Yeah, you make an opposed close combat to grapple him, and then you're both prone.
Yep, on the ground. Well, he's already on the ground, so she's
Okay.
basically just jumping on him and trying to
So-
grapple him.
So roll hand-to-hand?
Close combat.
Or is this the...
Yeah, hand to hand is
Close
close combat. Yeah. All right, that's one success. He's going to roll his, and because he is the defender, you can in fact push. But if it's not
So I do have
success.
advantage on hand to hand.
Oh well, then you should
So
have
I
rolled
forgot
with
to-
advantage.
So I should have rolled that differently.
That's okay. So you
So,
can
should I
roll
just roll it
another.
again?
So you have a d6 and a d12. You can roll just another d12.
Okay. I get a D12 on this.
Yeah, just see what you got. Or you can, if you'd like, I can do it for you. It's up to you.
Just making my computer do what I say it to.
There.
Okay.
Nice. Crit.
Well,
Yeah.
she
Well,
should
the
have.
D12 is the 12. You just ignore five.
Correct. All right, so that is a crit. So that's technically 3
So
successes.
it's 3. Yeah.
Mhm. All right, so he'll roll his, and he got 2 successes. So that's 1 success over his. So that is 1 success total because each cancels each other out. So you got 1 success. So that means that you are now grappling him.
Okay. Okay.
And I think
so,
that means
yeah,
the only thing
goal
that
is
she can
to
do now.
restrain.
Is just hold on.
The
to
only
him.
thing she can do now is a grapple attack, and the only thing he can do is try to get out.
That's correct.
Right.
All right, Fenna, you're up.
I'm gonna call for backup.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up the phone or intercom or whatever we have, and say, requesting assistance in restraining a suspect on the 17th floor. 3 officers currently engaged. Non-lethal force only, please.
Make a manipulation roll, please.
I have to manipulate to call for backup?
In this
Okay.
case, yes.
All right. 2 successes.
Cool beans. All right. So, however long that takes, you don't know, but it does seem
Alright.
you definitely get a Joy on the other line who says she's dispatch. Obviously, she says,
Yeah.
Yes, help is on the way."
Excellent. Then I'll pop in the intercom and say, for everyone's benefit, backup is en route. Please keep him calm.
All right.
Not calm. Backup is en route. Just try to keep him in hand, okay, guys?
All right. It's Ellisvale's turn. Ellis is going to try to break out of your grapple. So this is with a hand-to-hand combat roll. So this is with advantage. He's going to push that. So the 3 and the 4. He'll push the 4. So that's 2 successes. So you, Oelsen, are going to need to make a hand-to-hand combat roll with...
Remember to click advantage at the top of your sheet first this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Advantage. Hand to hand.
Okay, so because he had more successes than you, he will break out of your grapple. He just basically sort of like... And his strength is immense. You've never felt
Yeah, I knew it was a
someone
bad idea.
just break your like you're a toy. He just
Well, you
just
stopped him from
pushes
hurting anyone
back.
this round.
Definitely stopped him from hurting him. And then he will use his movement to stand up. Now,
Okay.
because he stood up next to someone, if you would like, those of you who are near him within engaged range can make an opportunity attack.
Absolutely.
If you do
Yes,
so, he
sir.
will try to defend it. You can only defend it from one person. So if you guys are both going to just try to slash or bash or whatever it is, but it is an opportunity attack, a melee opportunity attack. So
Okay.
Willem Novak, Hiroshi Yoshida, those of you who are standing can make opportunity attacks against him.
But I would not be because I'm
Because
still
you're on the ground. Exactly.
Right. Okay.
You cannot make any kind of melee attacks while you are on the ground.
Not even to trip?
Nope.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
So Willem and or Hiroshi,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yoshi first.
Sure.
What are you doing it with? Your hands or your sword?
Oh, the sword.
Solid.
He flipped the switch.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
You swing the sword, he ducks under it. Do you want to push?
You can push that too.
Yeah.
You can only
let's
push the
that.
2.
Push it.
Do I just hit push or do I gotta click
You
something
hit the
else?
push button, and then
It'll give you an
you'll
option.
see the little things, and only click the 2, because that's the only thing that you'll be able to push. You have to click the die that's associated with it, which is a D10. Okay, so pushed.
Nice.
You did in fact get a success, so that is 1 success. He's gonna roll. He's gonna try to dodge that with a hand-to-hand roll of his own, and he does with a. So you swing your sword at him. He just dodges out of the way. Willem Novak. That's
Another
his.
Sonic.
That is not a melee.
Oh, unarmed. It's got to be melee. Okay.
Yep, opportunity attacks with melee.
Great. Hand to hand. Success.
One success, okay, and then he's going to dodge yours as well, or at least try to.
I thought you said he could. I
Oh,
thought you
that's
said he
right.
only dodge one.
That's right. He can only dodge one. So,
Yeah.
Willem, you do hit him. Go ahead and wait. Why'd you hit? Oh, you don't have an unarmed strike.
Sorry, I do.
Okay, so just roll the damage, but you don't get the crit.
Yep.
One damage.
One.
Okay, so yeah, you swing and your fist connects with Ellisvale's face, and your hand feels like it's hit a brick wall.
Yep.
All right.
Perfectly fine.
It is now your turn, Willem.
Uh-huh.
What do you want to do?
So, fired to the left ear, falling back on the chair. Fired to the right ankle when he comes at me a second time.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a crouch. He's fought them both off. Swing with my fist. I think I'm going to go right to the gut for a Sonic and just disorient the shit out of him.
Are you making this a called shot, or do you want to hurt him?
Yeah, called shot, non-damage, non-lethal.
Now, here's a question. You are in engaged range. What's the minimum range of your Sonic?
It is short, medium.
That means that you have to move.
Oh. And moving out of range gives him an attack of opportunity.
Unless you do a mobility check to get yourself out of it, which is an action.
I can mobility. Let's mobility.
Mobility
an action?
isn't the action.
Oh,
No.
okay. I thought it was...
mobility to leave, if it's a mobility to leave engaged range, it's part of your move.
Oh, it's part of your move. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
And that's a success.
All right, so you move swiftly out of his range,
Yeah.
and then you can fire if you'd like.
Yes, please. Success.
There you
Okay.
go.
And that is a called shot, you said?
Yep. Called shot, so non-lethal, but trying to continue disorienting him.
Okay.
So knock him back down, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so bam!
At this
Hit him
point,
right
like,
in the chest. He
into the table.
He
Like,
bounces
I
off the
want
table and
blast.
falls on the floor again. The table is like all the Voight-Kampff machine, like all the papers,
It's
just
toast.
fly into the air. The fan above just starts like spinning, and you just see the papers just being shredded. Anything else, Novak?
I'm just gonna with the slightly broken hand. I'm gonna bang on the window with the limp wrist and just be like, Fenna! Although I can probably already hear through the open door that she is calling them.
Yep, I think you probably hear her voice for sure.
I told them over the intercom that I had called back up.
Yeah, you probably
but
hear
now
her
I'm
voice
just
over
begging
the
for you to get in here too.
PA. Okay, Yoshida, it's your turn.
I am not built for combat, you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna strike at him again.
Okay, swing your sword. That's one success. Let's see if he dodges that one. He does. Now, here's the thing. That's a defender. Does the defender... I have to check the actual core rulebook
Yeah,
for...
he will do damage.
I think he does do damage based on the amount of successes over yours.
Yeah, based on 2 dice.
Right. So that is 2... So that's just a single critical then. Is that correct, Sarah?
Now I have to double check because now I got lost in the crits. Let's see.
Lost in the crits.
Lost in the crits. Lost in the crits. All right. Critical hits. If you roll 2 successes more than your opponent, you inflict a critical injury on your target. Yep, that's a crit.
Okay. So I fucked up.
And the damage is increased by 1. So,
I fucked up. I should have just done unarmed rather than hand to hand, but let's see what happens here. If I get a crit, then I'll just choose the crit from there.
You
I'll
got
just-
the same thing?
I got the same thing. Well, I didn't. Yeah, okay. It's fair enough.
I'm also
3
wearing
successes.
armor, and I forgot about that the first time.
Great. Roll your
Oh.
armor roll because that can actually. Thank you for reminding us. That can mitigate some of the damage. So please roll your armor on that palm strike that he did to your face. Because he did 4 damage to you, I think.
Dang it! What does that do?
You have to say, how does armor
Police
work in this game?
undershirt.
Yeah, so what you need to do is under the armor, all you have to do is just where it says the armor name,
Oh.
just click on it and it'll give you an armor roll.
Yeah, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, I bet it does,
It wants
because
me to.
unless you hold on. Let's check here. Check your character sheet. Yeah, you just hold on. Oh, because you okay. Hold on. Did you drag this onto your character sheet?
I did not. I filled it in.
Ah, that could be one.
Okay,
But,
so when
got
you
it.
take damage from an attack, roll 2 base dice of the type indicated by your armor rating.
Yep, I got it.
Each success decreases the damage by 1 point.
Cool. Watch this.
Gotcha.
Watch what?
All right.
Boom. All right. So there's your 2 dice, and you decreased it by 1. So you only go down by 3 instead of 4. So you are at 2 hit points instead of 1, or 2 health.
Okay.
All right. So with that, he's going to roll his critical, and that will also potentially be mitigated by your armor as well. So here's the crit. 2 extra. Is it 1 extra success? 1 extra success. Yeah. All right. So it's a broken leg. Oh shit. But it does 2 damage to you. So roll your armor for this, because if it mitigates all, nope, it doesn't. Okay, so it mitigates 1 damage and breaks your leg, Yoshida. So first your
Welcome
nose.
to the first day on the job, guy.
This is bad. All right. Let me tell you what that does from a critical injuries perspective. So a broken leg requires a month of healing, and you can't stand upright. Crawling is the only possible mode of movement. Jesus, tap dancing. I guess what happens is you swing your sword, he ducks under it and spies your leg and just hammer fists you right in the kneecap. And you hear a severe crunch and crumple to your knee.
Damn it.
This is fucked up. This game, man.
No
All right.
kidding.
All right, we are
Not even supposed to be here
over
today.
at Oelsen Baker's turn.
All right, now I'm just kind of ticked off, and yeah.
Apparently, I should have gone for the head strike.
Yeah, well.
Or learned the hard way.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Is there a disadvantage for firing in close combat?
I think that if you fire in engaged range, I feel like it would be disengaged. Let me. It would be a disadvantage. But I can check on that because I know that the minimum range on your gun. I think it would be a disadvantage. I can find out for you. Why are you?
Looking right
You're. I don't believe you're. Are you actually? Yeah, you're down on the ground. You'd have to stand up. When you shoot someone
I'd
from a
have to stand
distance
up in
roll
order
for
to shoot?
firearms. I'm just checking here.
Yeah, disadvantage. If you're under your minimum or over your maximum, it's disadvantage on the shot.
That's correct. Thank you, Sarah.
You welcome.
You can fire from prone. You just can't do
I
melee
did.
attacks. Oh shit!
Nice, damn.
There you go.
All right.
Pissed me off. I'm sorry.
No, you fire from a prone position. Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm assuming. Did you? Oh, next time just roll the gun instead of the firearm skill.
Oh,
Because
oops,
there's
sorry.
3 different types of bullets, as we've seen.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Novak.
Sorry.
Do you want to tell me
So-
which gun you shot with, or which bullet I should say?
The first one.
The regular shot.
The
Okay.
regular.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. So go ahead and click on that until we get 3 successes, and then we'll go with your choice of crits. Let's just
Baba Yaga is
keep
back.
going again. Let's do it again.
Getting there. Turn disadvantage off. Maybe you'll get there faster.
Maybe I put advantage. No, I don't have that on there.
Well, how did you get that with disadvantage? That's what I don't understand.
Because I forgot to click disadvantage.
Oh,
I think a 12 gives you.
it gives you 2, right? So that would be a crit.
Yeah.
That would be a
Yeah.
single crit. So as long as you get a 2, we can roll that crit. So do it again until you get a 2. Just keep going.
Oh yeah, because she rolled a d12
So-
and a d6.
No, she did
Sorry,
roll a
Shasta.
2.
There
Oh,
it
she
is.
There's
did?
a 2 up here.
There's a 2
Yeah.
up there
Yep,
somewhere?
there is.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So, yeah. Julie, go all the way up to where it says Blaster 4-4 special. At the end, you have a 2 crit.
And the 2, and then hit critical.
And then hit critical, yeah.
And 1 in the box.
1 in the box.
How many extra successes is 1?
Just 1, yeah. All right.
Oh, there you go.
Damage 3 cracked skull is the critical on this one.
Yeah,
All right.
that works.
Oof, man. What is the cracked skull critical injury? That is... Oh, damn. Okay. That is...
Oh shit, that's instant death.
No, cracked skull, not crushed
Oh,
skull.
sorry, I looked at crushed skull.
Cracked skull is disadvantage to observation and tech. Well, that's fine. Yeah, he just he feels the bullet
Is there
whiz by his scalp. You see like a big gouge ripped out of his hair and skin on his head. And he's bleeding profusely.
And lethal within a shift.
Yep. Nice shot. Anything else, Baker? You gonna stay on the ground?
All right. I'm gonna stand up.
Okay. If you stand
Yeah.
up, he's gonna get opportunity attack on you.
Just from making myself not prone.
When you stand up and somebody's right there,
Mm-hmm.
they get an opportunity attack.
Got it. Can I roll mobility to?
I believe yes, you can roll
Like,
mobility to avoid
or no?
that.
Okay, so let's try that.
That is a negative. So he's gonna try to smash you in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
All right. 2 successes.
Ouch.
Do you have any armor?
Yes.
Well, she can also defend against that, can't she? Or
She
no?
can do both. It's a close combat roll, and she has armor.
Okay. Okay, so to defend against that, I roll
You roll your hand to hand.
hand to hand.
Yep.
Advantage, remember.
Yep.
Ooh,
No
very nice.
way!
There
Very
we
nice.
go.
Yeah,
Ooh, you get to hurt him back.
you do get one
Ooh.
1 damage. So you need to roll your unarmed skill until you get into success, and then we'll determine the damage. Or just roll a d12. Okay, so just roll the damage.
Oh
then.
well, I forgot to take
That's
it
fine.
off the
Just roll the
advantage,
damage. That's fine. 1 damage. Okay. So yeah, you slap him in the face a couple times as he attempts to swing at you. He's looking pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie.
but thank goodness, finally.
Yeah, I mean,
For
this
all
guy
that.
took a lot of beatings from all of you.
How is he looking?
He's looking like he's about to fall over. He's
Right.
bleeding from multiple wounds on his head and his person. So yeah, he's in a bad way. Fenna, it is your turn.
Back on the intercom.
Yeah.
Vale, stand down, or we will be forced to kill you.
As you say that, you hear the door to the interrogation room fly open, and 3 cops run into the room with their guns drawn. And
Alright,
they
can I?
see the absolute cacophony and bedlam that is happening in the interrogation room beyond.
As that happens, as they come in, then I will be on the intercom and I will say, I see the cavalry has arrived. Gentlemen,
You
please
look-
use non-lethal force until advised otherwise.
You-
Mr. Vale, stand down.
You look and you see that of those 3 cops, Remy Krumpak is in the lead.
That's what's his butts. That's
That's
the
Novak's
partner,
That's my rival.
Oh, my least favorite person. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so, and then I'll say, you see that guy right there with the mustache? He definitely wants to kill you. Do you want to let him?
Okay.
And roll my manipulation. 2 successes.
Cool beans. All right, it is Elsvale's turn.
Wait, is he? How does my manipulation go against him?
You don't know. You look at him. He doesn't run into the room. He doesn't shoot. He just stays there.
Huh? No, this was me. That was me
This was
manipulating
against
Vale.
Vale.
Oh, against Vale.
Yeah, this was me. I'm the
Oh,
one who called.
sorry.
I'm the one who called for backup. This was
I thought you were
the
manipulating
talking-
Krumpak.
No,
Yeah,
the
me
talking
too.
to the talking to them was flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Was me was saying like, gentlemen, I see the cavalry's arrived. Please be advised, use non-lethal force
Right on.
only until directed otherwise. And then I say, Vale, stand down. You see that guy with the mustache? He definitely wants to kill you.
Okay. Yeah, he looks through into the mirror, which he can't see anything because it's a one-way glass. So he has no idea what you're talking about. But he looks at all the people around him.
Oh, I thought they ran into the room that he was in. Not
They
the room
opened
that
the door
I'm in.
that you're in. They haven't gone in there yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he definitely
Then I
heard you
take-
say those words.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in a bad way. His eye is all swollen shut. His scalp is bleeding. His fingers are just crusted with blood. And he's breathing heavily. It is his turn.
He doesn't stand down, even though he failed
does
against
not
my
stand
manipulation
down.
roll.
No, he does
All
not.
right. Interesting.
Indeed, interesting.
I mean, I did have to do this like 3 times to
I know.
our big bad in the last one. So
That is true. It's not an immediate charm roll, unfortunately.
yeah.
Okay. Ellis turns to Novak and swings at your head.
Mm.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Just because, yeah, that changed on my character sheet for a second.
Yeah, I did accidentally. I opened yours instead of his.
It's okay.
There we go.
Oof. That's
Yikes.
a hand to hand or unarmed to counter?
Unarmed to dodge it or to counter it.
Yeesh.
Okay. So that is 2 successes. So that is a single, a single crit.
Oof. 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 Can I push the 4?
You cannot push. Only the attacker could push.
Okay.
Crushed skull. Oh my god.
Wait. No.
Oh god.
No.
Oh no. Does that kill him?
Yeah.
I'm at 5 health. So it's only done 2
That's-
damage. And I've taken no
Crush-
damage
no,
so far.
No, Patrick, the critical
Just
injury.
crush skull? Yeah, because it's a crit. Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Your call.
I think we have to go with what the game says here, which is a
Alright.
crushed skull is a crushed skull.
This is insane.
Jesus Christ.
No.
The fuck?
No.
Ellis Vale
No.
punches.
It's a brutal start.
It's really rough.
Yeah.
Punches
Ow.
Novak. And you just hear like this sickening, like all of you watch this sickening turning of events like it's happening in slow motion. That the veteran of 20 years on the force, his head just and moves at a super unnatural angle, and then he just flops face first like a rag doll onto the table and slides off. Novak, what are your last thoughts?
I think he's really trying to analyze the best ways to subdue this guy. I've taken no physical damage up to this point. We've deflected successfully everything, but the crit is a crit, right? I guess.
Crit is a crit.
But it's a critical, but it's only 2 damage. So I mean, that's where I guess we're
Yeah,
our
so-
semantics. I think that he's trying to move in the fracas of a tight space. There are 3 of us all trying to subdue this guy, and he went apeshit from a VK. I think he's busy trying to read the situation and just constantly move out of it. And Novak moves to a position where a good bum rush hits him right against the corner of the glass and the cement wall. Yes. And I don't think he has time to think about anything. Going from full health to dead.
This is a shock. This is a shock to me. I'm sure it's a shock to our audience. As this is rough. But Novak dies right there in the interrogation room. And I think once the cops see that occur, they absolutely shoot the living fuck out of Ellis Vale.
I was gonna say right then.
Yeah.
Fenna looks back.
I
at
unload my mag.
from Pack and just says, "Now you can kill him."
Even Remy Crumpack.
I don't wait for her to say that. I unload my mag.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I'm not talking. You can't hear me. I'm just talking to the guys in the other room.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's her reaction.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think all of you who have blasters, you just hear this cacophony of just over and over again. Ellis Vale just tumbling in slow motion with multiple just PK blaster after PK blaster after PK blaster going into his body, and he's just staggered there in a second, and then the last one goes right through his head. And there's just the sound of tinkling glass falling to the ground. And there is a haze in the interrogation room, a haze of gunpowder smoke and blood in the air. And you all look at each other and look at the bodies of Ellis Vale and Willem Novak. And then there is an alarm that goes off in LAPD headquarters. That is shrill and chills you to your bone that something very, very wrong has occurred on this, the first day of your investigations into what could have happened with this guy. And I think that's where we're going to take our break. Woof.
Jesus.
Yeah. Critical injuries don't matter how much health you have. It just matters on the critical injury, like all Free League games. When you get a 66 on the critical injury, you get a fucking critical injury that kills you.
Well, I now hold a perfect record. My first character has died in every Slices and Dices game.
I'm so sorry that you just received the Master's treatment.
Oof. I don't think it was as bad as the Master's. The Master's treatment was like she slipped and goofed and fell or some shit like that.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I'm going to take the break and start figuring out what the hell I'm going to
take the break. We're going to come back. We'll give you a new token. We'll give you a new character. It shouldn't take that long to drop in.
My gosh. Ah!
Julie is still recovering.
Thoughts? No. The thoughts going through Oelsen's head right now, you have no idea. Well, you do, they don't.
I can only imagine. Oh,
After
actually,
what I've sent to you.
Oh, that is very true.
You can imagine.
Yeah. All right, so let's
Fenna is just kind of standing there, like blank face. She didn't even pull her blaster. She's just kind of...
Maybe if she had.
Completely in shock.
Oof.
Lesson learned. Next time I'm taking the head off.
Go for the head. Oh, this is a very Thor against Thanos moment for Yoshida.
Yep.
All right, so let's come back in like 10 minutes. You think we can pull up a character in 10 minutes there for you, Patrick? I think we can do it.
I'll figure it out.
We'll do it. All right, we'll come back in 10 minutes, folks. See you in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, folks, we're back. Woof. Woo. Just when you thought it couldn't get more surprising, we come back and surprises occur. Welcome back to all of you who have just witnessed craziness. And we're ready to jump back into this full bore. So I guess after what occurred that day in LAPD HQ, there is a week of absolute shock that Willem Novak has been killed. I think, Yoshida, you are brought to the med lab in the hospital to set your leg because it's absolutely just your kneecap is shattered. Even with all the medication and hospitalization and I guess, what you would consider to be cyberpunk, cybertech medicine, you're still laid up pretty hardcore. Oelsen, this is a heartbreak to you for a lot of different reasons. And I think Fenna, I don't know how you particularly feel considering what occurred previous, but the concept of losing a partner, even one who you've known for just about a month, who you've sort of gone through a lot of shit with, I don't know how does it make you feel, Fenna? You probably undergo some rigorous testing of your own, probably.
Oh, I'm sure that I do. I'm sure that I get called in for a baseline after watching that.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, Fenna is kind of dazed almost, in that the memories that she has been programmed with never involved this kind of loss, and she really doesn't know how to process it. And so I think she is kind of walking around in a fog for a couple of days, not really sure, like going through the motions of doing her job, but not really as invested as she has previously been.
Mm-hmm.
Um, until one night she goes and gets some noodles at that place where she picked up Novak at the very beginning of the very first session of their first case file together, and is just sort of sitting there. It's raining, and something about doing something that makes her think about him instead, makes her feel comfort instead of sad, which she finds surprising. But that is, I guess that's the moment when she sort of starts to come back to herself a little bit. I think she's still kind of a mess,
Yeah.
because she has absolutely no idea. Like, even though, yes, she technically is like a year old, she's got the memories of an adult, but nothing like this. And so this is a very big learning experience for her as an individual.
So, I think that it's also important to note that after all is said and done, it was determined that Novak's killer, at least the word around the RepTech unit, was in fact a replicant. That Ellis Vale was a replicant. What kind he was, you're not quite sure. Because you'd never seen anyone so... I mean, you've seen replicants with strength. You've seen replicants with speed. You've seen replicants with endurance. You've seen replicants with human-like qualities. But never one that could fail, or I should say pass, a Voight-Kampff test and then do the kind of horrible damage on Novak in front of 3 or 4 different Blade Runners. Like the pure sort of audacity of it all is striking. He even took like 3 or 4 like full on PKD bullets like in the chest before he went down. That said, I think word goes around from Holden that those of you who knew Novak are invited to his funeral. So, on the outskirts of the city, there is an area which many of the cemeteries and whatnot are arranged around. If you take a look at the overall map of Los Angeles on the far left, you'll see that I'm just going to drag everybody over to it. That the area in which most of the buildings are sort of clustered around is only a small section of Los Angeles. The mega city Los Angeles. It just spreads out for hundreds and hundreds of miles. It goes all the way east to the Kipple, which is the sort of completely barren area of the post-war area of the world, and then further down to the sea, where the seawall docks are, Los Angeles Spaceport, warehouse district, and municipal waste and sanitation. I think that the areas that are designated for civil servants for their for their actual removal of their bodies and putting them either in the ground or cremating their remains. Those cemeteries are closer to sort of more natural areas, if you want to call them that. They're further away from the hearts of mega civilization. So I think that it is not shocking at all that there are perhaps 100 to 200 people that attend Willem Novak's funeral. Of course, it is, as it always has been and it always will at this time of year, May to June, it is still raining. Let me see if I can give us a little ambiance here. People are carrying the umbrellas with, and if you remember the movie, all these umbrellas had these sort of glowing handles as the rain pours down on you. More than happy to have each of you who remain give a short word about what you feel considering the death of Novak.
Oelsen,
Long,
go ahead.
but he fought with every ounce of his being, and he was a hell of a man in my book.
Oelsen's not going to say anything in front of anybody. Do you want to know what she's thinking?
That's up to you. Do you want to share that with at least the audience and or the players?
Oelsen did not sit well how the last case ended. And this has put her right in that same mental health space. Not okay. Just feels completely guilty. She second guessed herself again, decided to try for non-lethal, and it did not get real well. And it did not go well. And so here she is again, feeling all this guilt, like this is her fault. It doesn't matter there are other people in the room. To her, this is 100% on her. She should have done better. He should still be here. In her mind, this is all her fault. Period. Done. Over. And she is torn up inside.
Fenna sort of looks down at whatever marker marks his grave and kind of looks around and says, I don't know what happens when a person dies, but wherever this grumpy asshole is, if he's anywhere, he is probably laughing at us all right now for being so fucking sad. And she'll pull a flask out of her impeccably tailored black overcoat, take a sip, and then rest it against the grave marker. And then she's gonna light a cigarette.
There is, after perhaps another dozen or so people speak their piece about Willem Novak, including his ex-partner Remy Krumpak, who says something akin to, he didn't deserve to go that way. And that something in a little bit of bad taste, perhaps likening replicants to being the problem. And that if there hadn't have been the problem, that he'd still be alive. I think there are a couple of reporters there as well. You see Kill Magazine cameramen fixing their cameras, and they have a couple of drone cameras that are sort of flying over the procession. you know that they're gonna get a whole lot from this, for sure, in Kill Magazine. That another replicant murder of a Blade Runner cop has taken place.
I very actively use my umbrella to stay out of the line of sight of these cameras to the best of my ability.
It's ironic, too, because the newspaper from that morning, which I'm going to give to you as a handout, was this newspaper from the Independent Sentinel. So, it showcases that as of June 9th, 2037, 0 Nexus 9 convictions. Incident reports are on the rise. The days of a Blade Runner retiring a Nexus on site are gone, says Captain Dave Holden. The irony drips off the page. It also showcases that unemployment reaches an all-time high at 27.9%. That there are some LAPD raids of the seawall shantytown. You've heard about this sort of small area down on the southwest coast of Los Angeles by the sea. That is an area that has been set up where the poor and downtrodden members of society have seemingly been involved in criminal activities. LAPD have been seeking out the leader of these particular criminal activities for a while now, but haven't been able to really pinpoint it, and they believe the fugitive Nexus 8 replicants may be behind it. As well, even a month on, you see that there are no suspects in the murder of Lilith Tyrell at the Tyrell Memory Lab. You know very well what happened there, but I think it was in your best interest to keep your mouth shut when it came down to it. You also see in the top right-hand corner of the Independent Sentinel a small article from Wallace Corp that warns of, quote, bootleg replicants. And it says, in a statement Monday, the Wallace Corporation warns of an increase of reports of unregistered or bootleg replicants produced by black market operators outside the purview of the UN. You also see a familiar face there. The face of Quell, the PR head of the Wallace Corporation. As the rain comes down, soaks the ground at your feet. One Blade Runner, an old, grizzled Blade Runner, one perhaps even more old and more grizzled than you could imagine even Novak, steps up through the mist and rain to the three of you. Patrick, I'd like you to describe your new character.
Yeah. You see an older gentleman, very, very sort of weathered face, couple pockmarks, couple scars, salt and pepper beard. His hair is gray bordering on white. It is sort of shaggily trimmed, and he's got that sort of almost anime front spike going on. It's sticking in a couple directions and looks very unkempt. If it weren't for the fact that this is a police funeral, he probably wouldn't be associated with them. He's wearing very sort of wrinkled trousers, like an off black trousers, generic combat boots, wrinkled blue button down shirt with a one of those square hand knit skinny ties, and a tweed vest over it. All underneath a sort of buy it anywhere generic raincoat, and just sort of moving very like he's not an aggressive member of the crowd on this one, but by the end of it all, he's sort of standing there, not too far from you guys.
Those were very nice things that you said about Novak.
Well, then it says, sort of glancing over at Crumpack, and says, somebody had to. I don't think I've seen you around before. You rep detect?
Once upon a time. Ark and Abhainn. I mostly just listen on the streets now. Not exactly the fastest steed in the stable. So I don't get put on the front and center, but it means I don't have to worry as much about flashing a badge.
And you see a very ancient version of the PKD, like probably one of the earliest models. It is dusted and dinged. It looks third hand at best. Like there are pieces swapped out so that it can solve the shotgun and the sonic that maybe weren't originally attached and into the pieces. Like it was cobbled together from a few different PKDs. And all the pristine is faded. There's a line that sort of cuts through. It isn't quite like a filed off serial number, but it definitely looks on inspection like it's intended to draw the attention away from this is a clean new shiny cop.
I was to understand that he was working on...
And he sort of taps the newspaper for a second.
Working on this when he went. Do you have any more leads about what the hell you were encountering in there?
Not yet. We're still trying to find our feet, I guess. It's weird not having him around.
Well, I'm not exactly Novak's shining personality, but I can roll around in the mud if you need. And an old hobo doesn't look out of place in a police station now and then. Perhaps I could, for old time's sake, help out in his absence.
I mean, I assume you have to ask Holden, but...
You do, in fact, see Holden off to the side. He has his oxygen tanks attached to his jacket. Of course, he's able to walk around. As you all know, Holden can't breathe very well ever since 2019. And the incidents, of course, that happened in that fateful attack by Leon Kowalski.
Creepily similar in many ways.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about Holden, I'll talk to him.
Well,
and yeah.
We do find ourselves in the mud pretty often.
Yoshida, I know that your leg was broken, but I think that you probably are able to wheel around the grounds to some degree. They probably have put you in a chair. Maybe you and Oelsen are somewhat close to each other. She might be pushing you around just because it's hard as hell to try to push yourself through the mud and sludge in this area of the cemetery. But I think that as you watch Fenna and Abhainn discuss what may be coming in terms of him helping out, as he says it, I'd like Oelsen and Yoshida specifically to make observation rolls. Okay. So Oelsen, although Yoshida's probably in maybe a little bit of pain as he's coming off of the meds from his week stay in the hospital, you're able to spot that Dave Holden is talking to someone else who you recognize. You recognize him because he's about the same age as Abhainn is. Abhainn may be in his 60s or maybe early 70s. But there's another cop that Dave Holden is talking to over on the other side of the cemetery. This cop is old and grizzled looking as well. He's wearing a long leather and sort of a jacket with a turned up collar that's padded. His hair is sticking up. And you recognize him as a very old, very relatively, I would say, even famous Blade Runner by the name of Ray McCoy. Let me give you his headshot right now, actually. Or his mugshot, I should say. There's Ray McCoy. I'm gonna drag him over to where you guys are. Drag you guys over too.
He looks like Ray Liotta.
I guess so. I didn't think about that, but sure. So there he is. Ray McCoy. Holden's looking at him. He's talking to him. He's nodding. Can't really make out through the rain what he's saying to him. But then he gestures over at you, Oelsen, and he gestures over at Yoshida. Ray looks over in your direction and nods. And then he points over at Fenna. Ray makes a small glance towards her, nods. And then he walks away from Holden into the rain.
Wonder what that was all about.
Maybe we should ask.
Maybe. You want me to push you over there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What's a little dancing in the rain? Sure.
Shove Yoshida in Holden's direction. Holden looks over at you. Officers.
What's going on, Chief?
Oh, you know, just another day. Another chance to be a hero.
Who was your friend?
Anybody looking to be a hero is bad.
Looks over at you, says, "That Officer Yoshida was Ray McCoy. One of the best Blade Runners that ever stepped in the RDU.
Is he stepping in to give us a hand?
Looks down at you. Tomorrow morning, I want you, Oelsen, Fenna, and, he motions over at Abhainn. He says, Mr. Abhainn, to be in my office, 9 a.m. on the dot. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Very well.
You want me to bring coffee? Sugar and cream like you like? The whiskey?
I think the matter at hand requires sobriety. But thank you. And he steps as well into the growing rain of the late afternoon.
What does it take to get an augmented leg?
Good question. Let's talk about that, because we don't want to wait a month for your fucking leg to come back here, right?
Right?
Let's take a look at the core rulebook, and let's talk about augmentation. Augmentation. Uh,
193.
193. Thank you. Here we go. Synthetic support. Synthetic augmentations. We're looking at a prosthetic leg. Holy shit. Stronger bones and muscles. Advantage to mobility when using running or jumping. It is of a rare availability and will cost you 10 Chinian.
I don't have that much.
Well, maybe you don't. But maybe
Daddy
someone
might.
you know may.
May have to make a call to the parents.
Let's do that now.
All right, find myself a vid phone.
Yeah, hell yeah. You wheel yourself over. Are you with the rest of them, or are you by yourself?
I'll be by myself for this one.
All right. So yeah, you find yourself a vid phone, plunk in the appropriate amount of chinian for the call. Hear it ringing. There's a click and a snap on the screen as you see a weathered, gray-haired man in a very finely tailored suit looking back at you.
Hello, Father.
Ugh.
I'm afraid the first day on the job didn't go so well. I made it all that time in the Marine Corps with hardly a scratch. First day as a cop, and I think I need a new leg.
He says, I had heard from the family that you had done great honor to us with your service and had received a debilitating injury.
Yes, sir.
I understand as well that you have taken on this position in the Los Angeles Police Department. We have
Yes,
no
sir.
qualms with the police. I wish to, of course, keep the situation status quo.
With all my abilities.
I will fund this operation, but I must have your assurances that in your investigations, if you find anything that would implicate the family, you will do everything in your power to turn it aside.
Yes, Father.
Remember, Hiroshi-san, family is the strongest bond that can ever be formed. Stronger than steel, stronger than life, stronger than will. Family is everything. And then
Yes.
click before you even have a chance to respond. Shinyan are physical, but they're also, I guess, digital to some degree. Like, you can determine how much money you have in your bank account. Like, you don't carry Shinyan around. You can just transfer credits to and from. So I think at that point in time, Yoshida, you hear a ping from your digital wallet. You look down, and you see that there are 14 Shinyan in your digital wallet.
Gotcha. And I will get that augmented leg.
The process of augmentation is not pleasant. I'm not gonna lie. It means that you must essentially have your previous limb removed. So, over time, although you are gifted with this enhancement, you need to get used to it. You need to be able to acclimate yourself to its use. So even though you are gifted and given this particular leg, it may not necessarily be as good as perhaps down the line, right? It starts off It's like a baseball glove. You have to
Yeah.
you have to work yourself into it.
Probably walking with a cane at first.
I think that's actually a really good way of seeing it. That you're sort of limping along a couple of
Right.
days. And I think as
Trying to
well,
learn the leg.
Yoshida, that because the request from Holden was made to you and Oelsen, Fenna, and Abhainn to see him in his office the following morning, I think that we're going to pick up with you later in that day. Right? It's an outpatient procedure, but you're going to miss the briefing in the morning.
I'm
Fair?
sure that'll make certain somebody real happy.
I will contact my team. Well, actually, yeah, I'll contact my team and let them know that I'm going to be in surgery while they're in the meeting.
Okay. Let's fast forward then to the actual first day of the investigation. So we're talking shifts-wise here, folks. We're talking the actual morning shift. Those of you who are pulling up logs, this is where you guys can start to take logs of your actual shifts.
Yeah.
Okay. As you enter Chief Holden's smoke-filled office, I'm going to just, if you guys wouldn't mind dragging yourself back to LAPD headquarters from the outskirts of the city. You can just move yourselves back. You enter Holden's office, and of course you see that he is not alone. That Ray McCoy, this legendary old-timer on the Blade Runner unit, is there, smoking. He grins at you as the three of you enter. And Holden looks up, and he places the newspaper from last week on his desk. And he says to the three of you, "Sit down." He doesn't even mention McCoy's presence. He says, "This is a fine mess. I know that Novak and you were supposed to run an empathy test on the prisoner, not kill him. But now, we have no idea why he did what he did, or who he really was, and dead men tell no tales. What do the three of you have to say for yourselves?" Holden seems a little bit irate.
We attempted repeatedly to subdue the subject, and, well, once he killed Novak, I think once he murdered Novak, tempers ran a little hot. To be honest, I don't know that we could have subdued him. His strength was, well, more than I've ever seen.
Make a manipulation roll, please,
Also
Fenna.
sitting there with her coffee.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not lying. I am, in fact,
No,
telling the truth.
Totally
here.
true. This is a manipulation, though.
Okay, alright.
Okay. Yep.
One success.
Super duper. Oelsen, you're up next.
Olsen's sitting there with her coffee, and she smiles. She's sitting all pretty and upright, as if the daisies are out and the sun is shining. There's rainbows and glitter everywhere, and she smiles and she says, "My only regret is I didn't pull my PK days sooner there, sir." And takes a sip and smiles.
Make a manipulation roll, Oelsen.
Very sweet, like an innocent little child.
Love it.
Only wish I had pulled it sooner. I'm sure the voice is kind of creeping him out.
I love it. I love the creepy.
Probably getting a little side eye from Fenna at this point.
So yeah, roll your manipulation, please, Oelsen.
Oh, roll manipulation.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he sort of returns the side eye, but says nothing. Abhainn, you've obviously have nothing to do with this other than the fact that you are brought into this of your own accord.
Would I have been able to watch the tapes?
I think
being
so.
Brought in the next day.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Sir, if you look at those recordings from the interrogation room, that doesn't seem to be much provocation. He was trying everything by the book, and this particular, what we can only presume is one of those bootlegs, maybe, seemed to have gone off entirely without answering the questions or following any of the Voight-Kampff processes. If there's something missing here, we need to figure out what exactly is triggering them or making them unreadable.
You're not half wrong, Abhainn. Clearly you've heard of bootleg replicants. Have the rest of you?
Hold up the same newspaper.
Yep. He says,
Read the article.
black market outfits are using this stolen Tyrell technology to create their own breed of skin jobs, unregistered. It's rare, but a few cases have been reported over the years. Some unsavory clients prefer using black market bootlegs rather than the Wallace Nexus 9s. Tailor-made, unregistered. Needless to say, Wallace is not happy about this. They are very protective about their monopoly, and they don't like spies. Now they're breathing down our necks to sort this out. If Ellis Vale was a bootleg, I can't believe that he's the only one. Replicants come in batches, and he sort of makes a small look over at Fenna, and then back to the three of you.
She just smiles at him.
He says, Wallace has been in communication with us. They want these bootlegs found and eliminated, along with whoever produced them. Fast. Any questions?
Yeah.
No.
What's off limits and what's not? I'm pretty good at staying out of the office so that I maintain my cover. I can probably get some whispers on the street, but I'm not sure exactly how fast you want me to pull those strings.
Oh,
Do we want to be dirty about this, or do we want to be above board?
I don't really give a shit. Abhainn,
I'll
you've been in RDU long enough that I remember seeing you be the old Blade Runner alongside Deckard and all the rest. Hell, you came in before we did. So whatever happens in the course of your investigation, just make sure that it can't be traced back to us or to Wallace.
You see his jaw sort of clench, but he nods very quietly.
Bootleg replicants aren't like the obedient Nexus 9 replicants. It feels like he was going to say something much worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought in Mr. McCoy here, he gestures over to him, who's been sitting there smoking a cigarette, doing absolutely nothing, to advise on the case. We took down the last N6 togethers back in the day, isn't that right, Roy? Ray, he says. Yeah, we did. He grins and exhales a blue cloud of smoke. These bootleg skin jobs are attack dogs, without a leash, capable of anything. This is old school. The grizzled Blade Runner, McCoy, rasps. Yeah, old school. Holden says, as usual, you can play this any way you like, split up to cover more ground. If you need to, I don't give a shit as long as I get results. McCoy will work the case from his end. You have the resources of the RDU at your disposal, especially considering what happened with Novak. Mr. Vale's body has been kept on ice down in the crime lab right now. So if you want to check it out down there with Coco, he's just a little jog down away. Meanwhile, I want to let you know that Quell, as you know, Wallace's PR manager, is expecting you over at their headquarters, where the bootleg tried to break into the memory lab in the first place. He walks over to his terminal and punches something into a keyboard, and he says, "I'm uploading Vale's data to your KIAs." And you hear some sounds of the machinery as it boots up and transfers a data file to your KIAs. I'm going to now give that to you as a handout, as handout C. Here it comes, folks. This is the profile database on Ellis Vale. It says, peruse it at your leisure. If you don't remember, you have street assets out there, of course. Especially you, and he points over at Abhainn. You've gained a lot of them over the years, especially with your friend in the courts. Abhainn, you specifically have a couple of different street assets, but the one who you have turned to the most is a district attorney whose name is Amara Javeri. I'm also going to give you a handout of what she looks like.
Perfect.
Yep.
Is that going to be one of my key relationships?
It can be if you'd like.
Potentially. All right.
So here is Amara Javeri's mugshot. You may note that Amara Javeri's face looks somewhat familiar.
Does it?
Looks like Lilith.
Interesting.
What does that mean? You don't know. But Amara Javeri is the district attorney for LA County. She's a no-nonsense gal. She definitely has the skinny on a lot of different things happening in and around Los Angeles.
Partly because of me, maybe?
Who knows?
Okay.
Let's discover that on our way through this case file. And I guess in closing, Holden says, if there is a new breed of replicants out there, someone should know about it. I trust you to figure out. Get out of here. Get to work.
As we stand to leave, I would like to approach McCoy.
Okay.
Is he leaving with us or is he staying?
No, he's staying.
Mr. McCoy, it's a pleasure to meet you. I just wanted to ask where you plan to focus your investigation to make sure we don't step on any toes.
He says,
or waste our time.
He says, I prefer to work the streets, but you can also find me in my apartment.
Excellent, good to know. And I would like to make an insight check on him to get a bead, because I am a replicant, to just get a bead on how he feels about me.
How he feels about you?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. One success.
One success.
I'm going to say with one success, he doesn't feel aggressive towards you. He doesn't feel any kind of distinct negative emotion towards you.
Excellent, very good. We'll be sure to upload whatever we find to the database.
Okay. So, at this point in time, your morning shift is complete. It is now the day shift. I'd like you to perhaps now I think is as good a time as any for you to contact your friend who's just probably come out of the outpatient unit or at least the recovery unit of the hospital. Our friend Hiroshi Yoshida. Who, and by the way, Hiroshi, you can bring yourself back up to 5 health.
Excellent. Got it.
All right. Where would you all like to go first? You can go, obviously, as we've done in the past, you can go to different places. You can go spend time in different sectors and different areas of the investigation. You can even go places and then come back to Holden, but I think you get the feeling that coming back to Holden's office after, if you have come up with no leads, you may lose some cred. You may lose some promotion points, actually.
Well, we've learned in the past that Quell doesn't like to be kept waiting, so I'm going to go pay a visit to my favorite PR rep.
Okay.
You want company?
If you want to come along, be my guest, I'll warn you, she's a bit prickly.
Oh, I can be very sweet, though. It's fine.
Fenna looks at her and raises an eyebrow, but doesn't say anything at this point. By all means, come along. We should check in with Yoshida, though, make sure he's all right.
That'd be
I can
the
do
best.
that.
Well, if he's good to go, where would you two like to head?
Well, I think an old man pushing his nephew, checking good cover. We could find our way out of the streets and maybe listen for a bit.
Sounds good. We'll check in with you after we talk to Quell.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing is Fenna and Oelsen are going to Wallace Corp. And Abhainn is going to team up with Yoshida and investigate certain things. Okay. Yoshida, I think you probably arrive at headquarters just as Oelsen and Fenna are heading out on their skimmers. Or actually, you guys share a skimmer. There is one skimmer that you guys all use. But Abhainn has the ability to get different places in Los Angeles by foot, without need for a skimmer. He won't even need to make a connections roll for it. Not so much for Yoshida, unfortunately. Even though you've got the cool new leg, you still have to make a connections roll to get different places without a skimmer.
Okay.
It's kind of like the guy who just perfectly times getting the door into the train station while everybody else is getting caught jumping the turnstile.
Yep. Totally fair.
Abhainn just always knows which one is unlocked.
Cool. All right, so I guess with the two of you, you guys will jump into the detective skimmer and head up to Wallace. And okay, my music is not playing. I'm going to reboot my Roll20. There have been, by the way, some issues with Roll20 tonight, folks. There have been quite a lot. I think the DDoS services or DDoS attacks. There have been some DDoS attacks with on Roll20, but let's see if we can make it work here. Oh, great, it worked. Okay, cool. Right, so here we go. Flying. Nope, still not working.
Made my music go away, though. What the hell?
Yeah, no, I turned off the music, but damn it.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm just gonna.
There we go. Now I can hear.
Yeah, it's not happening here. Hold on, let's just restart Roll20 on both my systems here. Hopefully it works. Music.
Oh, you probably had to start it again. Once you start Roll20.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
why.
Yeah. All right, so let's try this. Nope, still not working. Bugger. That's fine. I'll choose a different piece of music.
What are these cats doing?
Okay. Let's just do this. All right.
There we go.
All right. Cool. Why are you not playing? Still not playing. God bless it. Roll20. You're killing me here. Sorry, folks, out there in Twitch land. I think it's Chrome. I'm just going to kill Chrome and come right back in. Sorry. This is what happens when you try to do too much. You end up disappointing yourself. Okay. Come on, roll 20. I know you have it within you. There we go. We're back. Hooray. Okay. Now Twitch chat can hear, and everybody's good. So, yeah, I think that we're going to move then the two of you up to Wallace Corp, which is past the old Tyrell Corporation building to this area here. And so you guys just fly through the air on your spinner. Is there anything that you guys want to do whilst you're in the spinner on the way to Wallace Corp? If not, then we can just move to the next shift, I guess, the day shift.
Good to see you, Fenna. Good to be back with the crew.
Yeah, you seem relaxed.
Sure, yeah, that's it. Uh-huh. Takes a sip of her coffee. I'm trying. Yeah.
Trying to... What exactly?
Not fall into 1,000 pieces?
That's good. That's probably for the best. Well, to be honest, you don't really seem like yourself. Though I do love those shoes.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought if I could put on a little war paint, put myself together a little bit more on the outside. This is my ghillie suit. This is my mask. This is... Maybe I could convince myself that I was okay. If the others think I'm okay, then maybe I am okay. I'm just not sure that I am.
Well, Oelsen, it's
And
okay to not be okay. What happened was awful, and we all saw it.
It's not just Novak, it's all of it. It's, what are we doing here?
Well, right
3
now,
dead in a month, and I can't help but feel like it's me. What did I do wrong? I didn't listen. I didn't listen to my gut. I didn't listen to my instincts, and now what? Now you see where we're at.
Now we're in a
What
spinner,
pain,
headed to speak to a raging bitch who works for the Wallace Corporation and play nice so that maybe, just maybe, she'll actually give us some information we can use. Which, by the way, I'm not banking on because she's horrible. But my point is, Oelsen, right now we're here. We're not in the past. There's nothing we can do to change what happened. And second guessing your own actions is just going to drive you crazy. So be here now and do what you do. You're good at your job, Oelsen. You just have to trust yourself again.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Well,
I'm trying.
just don't lose yourself in the war paint.
It comes off every night.
Good.
I think by that time, the two of you have finally made your way to Wallace Corp, and the spinner lands touching down gently aside the monolithic building that houses the corporation that mystifies, frightens, enrages, astonishes you. And you step towards the main entranceway and are guided by several very pleasant-looking attendees of the Wallace Corp towards an elevator which brings you up to the main floor where Quell has summoned you. I will say that as the door opens, let me just give you a bit of it's a pristine, pure, brilliantly mirrored floor of marble that reflects the two of you as you step into the main, I guess you would call it, receiving room of the Wallace Corporation. And there to greet you, as you have seen her in the past, is Quell. And she turns to the two of you. Her hands are behind her back, tightly clasped. She's wearing a very form-fitting black suit, pantsuit. And she says, "Good morning, officers. I see that you have been alerted to the need for discussion by your superior."
Indeed we have, and we came straight away. I know you don't like to be kept waiting.
No, you are correct. I do not. What?
Well,
No, go ahead. You first.
Well, I suppose we should get right to it. Now, we had our encounter with this apparently bootleg replicant the same day that the article appeared in the newspaper, your corporation warning that such a thing might be in existence. How did you first learn of the bootleg replicants?
They are a threat to the replicant industry. And by extension, the bedrock on which all of society rests. I had my suspicions based on the information that Ellis Vale was one. Do you feel, based on your understanding of the situation and of your direct witness of the incident in which Officer... I do forget his name. What was it?
Novak.
That's right. Officer Novak was killed. Do you believe that Ellis Vale was indeed a bootleg replicant?
Well, he certainly appeared to be a replicant, and he did not have a serial number under his eye, so that is what the evidence would point to, yes. Where did you receive the information?
Information concerning Ellis?
Yes, that he might be a bootleg replicant. Where did you come by that?
I came by the understanding that because he was approached by security guards in the memory vault, an area in which he had no current task assigned, but was able to enter using a security clearance. And when the guards confronted him, he reacted quite violently.
So prior to this interaction with Ellis, you had no inkling or knowledge that bootleg replicants might be in existence?
I had heard rumors, but I had no information about Ellis beyond what was in his data file. He was a completely unremarkable service technician with a spotless work record.
We do have a copy of his data file, and I find it interesting that it says he was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. Was that by your physicians, or was that a record that he arrived with?
That was, I believe, a record that he arrived with.
Interesting. Well, I simply find it interesting that that any replicant could have been diagnosed with a degenerative disease, especially one that showed the sort of strength and physical capabilities he possessed, which, well, tells me that in addition to creating bootleg replicants, somebody is also supplying them with falsified documentation.
That is concerning, she says.
It is indeed.
Almost like all of her emotions are completely washed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was like this before.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you said you'd heard rumors of bootleg replicants. Where did those rumors originate for you?
I don't really have a direct source of the rumors. Many of my technicians and scientists have heard about them on the streets.
Could I speak to some of those technicians or scientists who've received this information?
I don't believe any one of them specifically would have been able to give you that kind of information. It just seemed to emanate from one or more of them, as if whispered on the wind.
Water cooler talk? Water cooler talk.
I don't know what a water cooler is, but I assume it is something that liminal people utilize.
Gossip.
Gossip, yes. Let's call it gossip.
Liminal people. That's a GRE level insult right there. That was above board.
I know.
Could you tell me, in the broadest strokes possible, without compromising company security, of course, what area of the memory vault Vane was attempting to access?
Make a manipulation roll.
One success.
Quell says, well, since it is instrumental to the investigation, I will actually be more than happy to reveal that the guards found a memory sphere drive on Mr. Vale, clearly stolen from the memory vault.
May we see it? See what's on it? See what he's trying to see?
Now you can make a manipulation roll, Oelsen. Do you want to push it?
Yeah. So if I want to push both of them, do I push the
You hit the push
D8
button.
plus D6?
Yep. Both die.
Fuck.
Okay, that is 0 successes, and you get a stress. Quell says, I'm afraid not.
May I ask what unit the memories belong to?
It was a portion of the vault that seems very... She sort of searches for the word and says, very rarely searched, very rarely utilized. Something in the perhaps 2010s or 2020s. Somewhere in the Tyrell organization. But more information, I'm afraid, at least for her. And Quell sort of motions in Oelsen's direction and says, I'm afraid that I don't really find there's a logical reason to showcase it at this point.
Logical. Well, if we understand precisely what he was after, we may have a better understanding of whether this unit was doing this on behalf of himself or doing it on behalf of somebody else. It may be that Vane is a rogue black market unit who has gone off his programming and is searching for something, or it could be that whoever purchased him sent him here to find something. Knowing what it was that he was looking for would be instrumental in furthering our investigation, telling us where to look, and putting an end to this problem that, as you said, is very dangerous for Wallace, and as you know, is quite dangerous for me too, being what I am.
She takes a second, steps forward towards you, and says, "How many years has it been for you?"
Since I was made.
Yes.
1.
She sort of like looks you up and down and says, "You have quite a lot to learn. Make a manipulation roll, that said."
One success.
She says, "I don't know if this is going to be of any use to you." And she stands, she doesn't stand, she walks backwards towards a dark wooden desk and enters in a keypad on top of it. And you hear a slight hiss and a click. And she pulls out a small silver orb about the size of a grapefruit. And she places it on the desk. She says, "It's audio only. By all means." And she sits behind the desk and laces her fingers.
Out of game, do I know how to work one of these things?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like play, rewind, pause.
Oh, okay. All right, I will cross to the desk and play the memory sphere.
Okay. You hear voices. And it shows a date. It shows 2019 November. I believe, if I'm correct with my movie trivia knowledge, I believe it's November 2019.
November 2019, okay.
And this is what you hear.
It's your birthday. Someone gives you a calfskin wallet.
I wouldn't accept it. Also, I'd report the person who gave it to me to the police.
You've got a little boy. He shows you his butterfly collection, plus the killing jar.
How are you going to send it?
I'll send it to you, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because my cable trick didn't work either, so I don't know what's up.
I'll send it to
You're
you.
watching television. Suddenly you realize there's a wasp crawling on your arm.
I'd kill it.
You're reading a magazine. You come across a full-page nude photo of a girl.
Is this testing whether I'm a replicant or a lesbian, Mr. Deckard?
Just answer the questions, please. You show it to your husband. He likes it so much he hangs it on your bedroom wall.
I wouldn't let him.
Why not?
I should be in it for him.
One more question. You're watching a stage play. A banquet is in progress. The guests are enjoying an appetizer of raw oysters. The entree consists of boiled dog.
And after that sentence, I know that you didn't hear it, unfortunately, Sarah. The audio cuts out. Just so you know, Patrick and Sarah, that was the scene between Harrison Ford and Sean Young when Harrison Ford's character Deckard does the Voight-Kampff test.
When he gives her the Voight-Kampff, okay.
Exactly. And just reviews the 5 or 6 questions that he gives to her before declaring her as a replicant.
Gotcha. Yeah. And my character sheet is also now blank.
Oh boy, roll 20.
Now that I
Yeah, it
reloaded
may
roll
just be
20.
whatever problem they had today, maybe continually.
And I even tried turning off the UI redesign to see if that fixed it, and that didn't fix it either.
Yeah, roll 20's having some issues, but we're gonna soldier through it if you guys.
Yes, we are. We'll figure it out.
We're almost at the end, I think, of this particular session. Anyway.
So that was so essentially that was Sean Young receiving the Voight-Kampff test.
That's correct. Yeah.
I remember that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember. Are any of the questions that Patrick used that Novak used in the Voight-Kampff on Vane, are they in that scene?
No.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
But I feel like she could extrapolate enough to know that they were similar.
Oh yeah, very similar.
Yeah. And so, upon completion of the playing, I'll sort of look at Quell quizzically and say, "A Voight-Kampff test."
Seems that is the case. That's what Mr. Vale was after.
Do we know the unit that this test was performed on?
The test itself was, from my understanding, performed on a replicant that was of the Nexus 6 variety who disappeared back in 2019.
And the Blade Runner?
My recollection and/or case file, it was of someone named Deckard. Also disappeared.
Oh, I've heard of Deckard.
Yes, he was involved with the Tyrell assassinations, from what I understand. Tertiarily, of course.
Yes, well, my information is, of course, third-hand gossip from the LAPD, so who knows what's true and what's not. Interesting. When Vane murdered Novak, he was performing a Voight-Kampff test on the bootleg replicant. Do you still use the Voight-Kampff examination, or has it been rendered obsolete?
We do not use the Voight-Kampff at all. It is a Blade Runner technique. It is part of the Rep Detect unit.
Sorry, of course. I should have asked if you knew. Has the Voight-Kampff ever been performed on a Nexus 8 or 9 unit?
And as far as I can tell, I believe that more modern approaches to maintaining a Nexus 8 and Nexus 9's loyalty are utilized, especially by the Rep Detect unit within the LAPD.
The baseline, of course.
That is correct. The baseline.
Thank you. This has been, well, somewhat helpful.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it possible that a serial number could be removed
I mean, it
from the
is
eye?
possible, but quite unlikely. It is genetically encoded into the retina itself. Unless somehow the retina was removed, or the eyes themselves were entirely removed.
Removed
serial
and
number.
replaced with new eyes.
That would be a very tedious and cumbersome task to do that on a replicant. Very few, if any, members of my staff would have the ability to do that without my knowledge.
Is the serial number encoded anywhere else, or only in the retina?
In the retina.
But no toe tag, as it were. No other place that it would be recorded.
That is correct.
Tell me, purely theoretically, the unit here in this recording is a Nexus 6. And as we all know, Nexus 6s were encoded with a 4-year lifespan. Would it be possible for a talented black market engineer to alter the lifespan of a Nexus 6 to extend it?
For what reason?
I'm not the one making the changes. I'm just trying to figure out how this unit came to be. Whether he was, in fact, a Nexus 6 with fried programming who somehow obtained the ability to live past his 4-year lifespan.
I find that to be, first, unlikely, if not downright improbable. And as well, considering the massive advancements that we at Wallace have made with the Nexus units, to be somewhat heretical to do such a thing to an old, outdated unit.
I understand, of
Maybe
course,
they're sentimental.
Or to be perfectly honest, I find that sometimes asking why somebody would do something stops you from wondering if they could. At this point, it's less about motive and more about possibility.
If you wish to notate that in your investigation, officer, you may do so, but without evidence, it is simply theory.
Oh, precisely, but in examining a theory, one may or may not find evidence. I could be completely out of left field, or it might be exactly what happened, and the only way to find out is to investigate, and in the meantime, keep an open mind. I'm simply looking at it from all angles so that we can solve this problem as quickly and as quietly as possible. So, theoretically, would it be possible to rewrite the genetic code of any replicant unit to outlive its intended lifespan?
We did it with the Nexus 8s. To do it with an outdated technology would be unlikely.
Unlikely, but not impossible.
She looks at you with a little bit of a, just the barest glimpse of frustration, Oelsen, and says, "So much is possible."
Indeed.
We understand, and of course your professional opinion on the matter will be taken strongly into account. I'm just, as I said, examining it from all angles. And she kind of, tries to shoot a casual glance at Oelsen that is like, don't push her, she's getting pissy.
Oelsen puts back on her customer service voice. I must ask one more question, though. Those shoes are absolutely fabulous. Where did you get them?
They were synthesized here at the Wallace Corporation.
They're just fabulous. Do love. I smile, I kind of back away like, okay, I'm done.
We thank you very much for your time this afternoon, and should any new information occur to you, please feel free to reach out to us at the LAPD headquarters.
A swift end to the investigation. Thank you, Fenna.
Good day.
And she nods at Oelsen.
Have a blessed one, dear.
As you walk,
Fenna winces a little bit.
I was gonna say, bless
Just a tiny bit. It's like, oh, too much.
You came this close to losing promotion points. It's totally cool. I think as you guys walk towards the elevator, which brings you down to the main level where your skimmer is, I think that we just are we stay on Quell's face, just this implacable, just statue of a being staring as the door is closed, and then just a blink. Let's switch quickly for the final scene of the night, which is Yoshida and Abhainn. Where have you guys decided to spend your day shift?
I think the shift was I had hooked up my KIA to his, so that I got his serial contact number, and using my connections, I think I went ahead so that we could find an opportunity to shake down a black arms dealer that might know about unlicensed reps and any sort of
Yeah, so there's a few
trade
of them.
movement.
There's a few of them. One who's actually kind of someone who you've heard about, and I think a few of you probably have heard about. One of their connections is this guy whose name is Doc Badger.
We encountered him before.
You did. You encountered him a month or so ago. Doc Badger is relatively well known. He's the kind of guy who will get you what you need for a price. He's not necessarily an arms dealer. That was Bullet Bob. He would be more than happy to get you all kinds of crazy guns and ammo for crazy stuff. But Doc Badger is a different kind of guy. He's more of knows things, knows people, so to speak. Yeah.
I would like to, because I can move in the without having to use connections to get between districts. I basically want to go ahead and sort of make sure the guy is in and do my usual sort of homeless man panhandling, sort of like he's a bit of a rough and tumble, and be in the place where I can observe these things, and then just quietly sort of text a message in being like, you can go rough him up now. He's in today, and the guards are at these doors. Avoid that door.
Okay. Let me just quickly give you a quick look at Doc Badger. Here's where Doc Badger is. Let me just blow him up a bit so you guys can see what he looks like. There's Doc Badger.
Where is he? I can't... Oh, there we go. I was on the wrong part of the map.
Yep, just shifting.
Oh, that's right. That's what he looks like.
Yep. So let me just assuming that you guys want to walk over to his place on Anemoid Row. He has a pawn shop actually. In that area.
Remember that pawn shop?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're gonna spend your day chilling out with him and getting some information, yeah?
Well, not necessarily chilling out with him so much as my signature item are the fingerless gloves that denote homeless people in the streets of LA. I'm gonna pull on fingerless gloves and sort of take some. There's a little bit of like sootiness in this little pocket on the inside, and sort of smear it, because part of Abhainn's sort of caricature of being an undercover is the sort of there's the face. He's got some of these little tears in the rain sort of face tattoos, vertical, whereas Doc Badger's here is horizontal, and he's got this extra sort of like sooty look that he sort of like rubs on parts of it so it looks even grimier, and then just sort of like goes in and has a couple sort of like small panhandling amounts of money to try and like go into the pawn shop and ask for stuff under this sort of guise of being semi-homeless and sort of a street contact.
Okay.
And is gonna sort of, I don't know if you want a stealth or like a manipulation, but like I'm legitimately going in and doing my normal day to day, but using that as a cover to make sure that I can.
Does he know who you are? In. How about that? Does he know who you are?
Yes, I would say that I'm kind of like the homeless street guy cover for the undercover cop is like, I'm not a big gun running undercover cop. I'm not like a huge drug dealer. I'm just like a homeless guy who can like give information out.
Okay.
And so I think that like I will occasionally bring in scraps of stuff to this pawn shop. I will occasionally have money to buy little things to protect myself. I've got like just like a collapsible nightstick and the old beaten up PKD. Basically all of the equivalents of like a Nokia phone, iPhone generation to continue to sell the lie. And I'm just going in to check in and make sure he's there, see if there's any sort of muscle.
Yeah, I mean,
information.
I think that he is in his pawn shop. You have no problem locating him, and he's sort of his pawn shop is a small one. He's got all kinds of stuff that's sort of accoutered all over the walls, and he sees you entering his shop as the door opens, and you hear like a little digital bell that goes ding dong, and he looks over at you and he says, "Hey, what are you doing in here?"
Came across a couple extra coins. Was wondering if perhaps I might be able to. I'm looking for a slightly better piece of technology. Do you have what's the equivalent of like a couple generations old iPad that you'd find at a pawn shop? Something that can like hold images, but it's like that you can text your grandparents photos and they've always got the updated photos sort of thing.
I mean, it's basically an older version of a KIA in a way, the same technology essentially.
Looking for something like that.
Okay.
I'm looking for something. I want to be able to have some photos from the good old days, and you know how it is. I don't get a lot of places to keep it out of the way. The last one's covered in water. Trying to repair it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of technical knickknacks and advanced tech, dusty, well used all over the place. So he just sort of pulls something off the wall and sort of slams it down in front of you. He says, "Yeah, here you go. What do you need? This? You need this? Yeah, that's fine."
While I'm looking at all that, can I just sort of like scope out the shop? Are there other people in there?
No, it's just you.
It look like he's okay.
Yoshida's outside. I don't know if Yoshida followed you in.
No. I was going to text Yoshi that I'm there, so that he can go in and do the full rough up of like information beatdown.
Got
like
it.
the not beatdown, shakedown.
Mm-hmm.
Brutus, no.
Like I'm doing it in a very nondescript way first, to sort of set the stage so that I can be there and be shocked when he comes on in and just witness this shit.
Love it.
Because I think that Abhainn's whole personality is, it's not even like a good cop, bad cop. It's like you don't know the first one's a cop and the second one is actually a cop.
It's cop, no cop.
Cop,
Yeah,
no cop.
No
cop.
No cop, real cop.
No cop, real cop. Cool.
What do you want me to roll for that?
Manipulation. Yeah.
Great. So my manipulation, though I can't see my character sheet, is going to be a B. That is a D10.
Oh.
Plus your whatever your empathy is.
Yeah.
Yep. Empathy is a B.
So also a D10.
So
one
also
more.
a D10. Yep.
Okay, so you have one success.
There you go.
One success.
He looks at you and he says, "Okay, man, whatever you need,
Still
just
no sheet.
the sheets. I don't know what's going on with Roll20.
That's
But
right.
You guys are doing the Lord's work by rolling it in the open. He says, "Yeah, man, whatever you need. Like,
I wrote it all down.
if you need this, that's fine. That'll be like one chinion if you want it. This is the kind of stuff you're looking for."
Yep. I'm gonna pull. So the policeman's salary goes toward my apartment. Everything else that I like panhandle and collect under the guys is like rolls of quarters and like stacks of crumpled singles.
Okay.
And he pulls out a bunch of chinion and pays for this thing and sort of like asks if he can plug it into the wall and like test it.
Oh yeah, sure. No problem.
So then I'm gonna go off to a corner. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
And
plug
while
it in.
I'm doing that and he's puttering around a shop, I'm just gonna sort of like under my coat, I'm gonna input into the KIA that Yoshi can come in and do the thing.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna throw the door open, like bam.
Oh, what's going on, man? Hey, who are you?
Are you Badger?
Yeah, who the hell are you?
I'm gonna pull out my badge.
Oh shit! Oh, I didn't do nothing, man. I didn't do nothing. Hands up. My hands are up, man.
We've got tech problems, and I need answers.
Sort of furrows his brow and says, "Oh, well, shit, man. Why didn't you just say that in the first place when you first fucking came in here, man? You didn't have to throw open my door and scare the shit out of me, man."
Well, we got fake replicants killing cops. What do you know about fake manufactured replicants?
Go ahead and make a connections roll.
Is there any way to offer the help action on this?
You are not a cop, so
But, like, does the extra fear help sell the manipulation?
I don't think he needed it. That's a critical success. He says,
Nice.
listen, man, it's bad for business. It's bad for business. Could you just shut the door? Cause like, I'll tell you what you need to know. Just keep it on the DL, you know.
All right, shut the door.
Okay.
Almost as hard as I opened it.
Boom. It's like a small like hairline fracture in the glass. He's like, "Oh shit, man, that'll cost me." All right, listen, officer, listen. I can tell you what you want to know. What you want to know about bootlegs? You want to know about bootlegs? They've been around for years, man. They're like maybe even decades. There's no telling how common they are, man. They're not even recorded. There's no way to even detect them except like a Voight-Kampff test. You guys do that Voight-Kampff test, right? The old VKs. I got like VK parts all over the place, man. Look, I got this. This is a retinal scanner.
That's great, but who's got the ability to make them?
Shit, man, I don't know that. I mean, like, I don't know who makes them, man. They've been around for like a long time. I assume that maybe Wallace has something to do with them. Maybe Tyrell, maybe some crazy scientist from like their fucking division like came out, got fired or some shit. I don't know.
Have you heard of any of these scientists that have
Nah, man,
formerly
nothing.
employed?
I got nothing.
So how did you hear about them?
I hear about it from my cousin and his cousin. Like they're all into like the they got the special Nexus 9s that are like really sexy and shit. And but they don't do any kind of weird stuff. They're just doing like the the normal stuff. They're not into that freaky shit.
So how do I get in connection with one of them?
Oh, I don't know, man. I haven't seen them for like ever.
Sure you haven't. Can I do like an insight, see if I think he's lying?
Sure. You want to push it?
Sure.
Go for it. Nothing.
Nothing.
Can't tell. He's like, listen, man, I don't want no trouble. I don't want trouble. If you guys came in here for like stuff, I got a customer over here. You scare the shit out of him. He's pointing over at you, Abhainn.
It's charging.
You all right over there, man?
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna work.
Okay.
What's happening over here?
No, I don't know. This
It gets
cop,
loud.
he's really, he's kind of abusive. It's cool.
What else can you tell me about them?
What do you want to know, man? I don't know very much.
Is there any other way to identify them besides the Voight-Kampff?
Nah, that's it. Voight-Kampff test.
Do they have any features that seem to be different or better than regular replicants?
Nah, they're like exactly the same.
So how do you know?
You don't. That's the problem.
Pardon me overhearing, but if a Voight-Kampff test works, but they're secret, how do you know the difference? If they can blend in otherwise, how does a VK work?
Like the VK should pick up, and what I understand, like it pisses them off something rotten. They try to outsmart the VKs, and then next thing you know, like you could sort of tell that they're the bootleg. But that's all I know.
Turn back.
So you start giving them the Voight-Kampff, and instead of getting confused and tripping up on their answers, they get pissed and they attack?
Usually, yeah, man. That's again, this is what my cousin told me. I don't know like what connection he has to the bootleg people, the bootleg sellers or whatever it is. I don't sell any of that shit here. I'm just letting you know.
What's your cousin's name?
His
Would
name
I
is
know if he actually?
what? Sorry,
Go
what
ahead.
was that?
Yeah.
My cousin's name is Rafi.
Raffy?
Rafi, yeah.
Raffy got a last name?
Listen, man, I don't want him to get in any trouble. He doesn't even live in Los Angeles anymore, man.
Where does he live?
He's out in like East Coast.
All right. Thanks for your time, Doc.
Shit, man. Fucked up my door.
Take a look around his shop. Is there anything of interest?
Let's see. At this point, no. You don't see anything of interest. Other than just a ton of knickknacks, paddywhacks, and advanced tech. Useless or useful.
Got a nice shop, Doc. Sorry about the glass.
Turns.
Walk back out.
Yep. Turns to you.
Shutting the door normally this time.
That's so kind. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Ben. Walks over to you, Eben. He's like, man, can you believe that guy?
That was very intense. Do all policemen act like that?
Nah. There was this one police person who came in before, and they were fine. But I guess, different strokes, right?
Would Abhainn know if he does carry a bunch of illegal shit like under the counter? Like I'm thinking the Men in Black, where like there's this compartment underneath the thing.
I think.
Is there like something like that?
Yeah, I think that that he doesn't have like a secret room with a whole bunch of like crazy guns and shit. No.
No noisy cricket.
No noisy cricket.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry.
Absolute stretch. Would there be a way to rig a VK scanner into like sunglasses or an ocular implant?
You know, it's funny that you ask that, because there is an item. It's not a VK scanner per se, but there are items in the core rulebook, from what I remember, under gear, which is under actually intelligence and tech, which is called an Esper lens.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So you're probably, as it says here, you're likely never going to see one around the RDU. You have seen the top brass and some megacorp execs use a brand new ocular interface that wirelessly projects data from an Esper terminal straight to a translucent Esper lens worn by the user.
And there's no chance that there's a dusty one of those kicking around this shop. Like a Generation 1.
No, there is no
Google Glass.
Generation 1.
Okay.
This is not like Google Glass.
Oh, it's okay.
No.
Okay. But talking about all this might trigger that Abhainn would know that an Esper lens could do the job.
Maybe. It
Okay.
would have to be retrofitted to do it, but yeah.
Fine, we got time. I don't know if we got the money, but we got time. Okay, cool. I'm gonna write that down for later.
All right. So I misspoke, by the way, folks. There is no such thing as a day shift. There's morning shift. There's afternoon shift. There's the night shift. Right. Those are the 3 shifts. Then you have to take your downtime.
Well, I think it's listed as morning, day, evening, and night.
I know.
Something like that.
I don't know why it's listed differently than it is in the actual book on the character sheets.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
just strange. So essentially, this is the second shift of your overall investigation that you guys are performing your tasks in. So you're moving into, according to what I'm understanding, let me double check. This is technically speaking now moving into the evening shift, like after you guys have spent this time. Yeah.
As we wrap up the afternoon shift, I do upload to the database what we learned at Wallace Corp. I
Nice.
upload that. Like maybe like I'd probably do it like while we're walking to the skimmer, because Oelsen's acting weird enough that I don't trust her to drive. So I'm like, I don't know what's in her coffee cup, but it might not be just coffee. So I like as we're walking to the skimmer, I like pull out my KIA really quickly and upload that that Vane was caught breaking into an older part of the memory vault not normally visited, something from the Tyrell days, and when he was apprehended, he was carrying a memory sphere that held a recording of a Voight-Kampff examination on a Nexus 6.
It's Vale, by the way. Ellis Vale.
Vale, I keep saying Vane, Vale. Yeah, and I do, for the moment, I leave Decker's name out of it.
Okay.
But I do say that it's Voight-Kampff being administered to a Nexus 6.
Okay.
I'll probably add that information later, but for now I'm leaving it out because I want to talk to McCoy about Decker first.
Totally.
Or actually even Arkin for that matter, but
Maybe.
probably McCoy because McCoy is the NPC who will be able to give me information.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and his apartment is relatively nearby, I think. So,
Yeah.
Just before we close tonight, I'd like you folks to tell me where it is that you wanted to go next. Please remember that there were a couple of spaces that you could have gone in your afternoon shift that you did not. Meaning, you did not go to the crime lab where the body of Ellis Vale was. You did not go to the Esper Wall or the data units to do research within the LAPD headquarters. But you did go, as you guys have shown. You guys did fulfill the Wallace obligation, which was great. I'm super proud of you.
I remember how bitchy she got when we put her off last time.
She was not pleasant. Yes, I completely agree. All right. So yeah,
Novak doesn't regret doing it though.
It's totally fine. Tell me where you're going for next time.
I'm thinking about going to see Coco because I'm no good at the tech part.
Okay. Yoshida.
I'm gonna talk to McCoy.
McCoy. Yoshida.
I think Esper Wall.
Esperwall for Abhainn and Yoshida.
You know, I'm gonna go down to check out the body as well.
Okay. So Oelsen and Yoshida will do body cavity searches. Eben will go and Esper Walling. and Fenna will go McCoying. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Hopefully by that time the DDoS will be done, and we'll have everything back to normal in Roll20 land.
And
But
for the record, in her coffee cup is not alcohol. It's a giant cup of coffee filled with Italian espresso
that's amazing.
and massive tons of sugar.
Love it.
Yeah, but is it also full of Soviet happy? That's the question.
Oh, the Soviet happy.
No.
That is something we will find out. What indeed that means when we come back next time. Next time to Fiery Angels, session 2. So, I think that's it for now, folks. We just watched people getting ready for the next part of the investigation. So let's say goodnight. Let's just go in a clockwise motion, starting with this gentleman below me, Patrick. Patrick, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me here on Slices and Dices at least once a month, sometimes more. You can find us next week doing Aliens. We are almost done with the latest mini campaign, and you can find me in a couple more weeks because we will very soon be premiering Everyday Heroes: Escape from New York.
Yeah.
So excited. So excited. I'm so excited. I can't hide it.
New stuff, new game system, new rules, who dis. You can also find information about hiring me as a DM at patrickmarin.com and any other theatrical things I might occasionally be doing. You can also look into my whiskey tasting services at barrover.com.
When next you do a whiskey tasting, please pour one out for Novak. Because, oof.
Indeed.
Damn.
I mean, I'll do that right now.
Do it right now. That was shocking. Very few times in my experience as a game master have I been like just thoroughly shocked by a scene. That hit me so hard.
That was
Yeah.
rough.
All right. Thank you so much, Patrick. Let's move across the board to our friend Sarah in the lower left. Sarah, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the interwebs at Lovely Llama on the social media platform of your choosing. I also am here on Slices and Dices, usually once a week, except, the holiday season as everyone's schedules all over the place, sometimes twice a week, playing all of the games. Hopefully coming in January or February, I will finally start running my Vaesen campaign. I just have to deal with some technical issues here on my end. And I also just funded the Kickstarter for Free League's newest RPG offering, The Electric State, which looks like it's going to be super cool.
That sounds really cool. That's the guy who did Tales from the Loop art, right?
Yeah, he made an art book that's just like this creepy, weird ass dystopia, like tech dystopia, and they took his art and based a game on it, and it sounds really, really cool.
Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Moving up to our friend Ben. Ben, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me here with Slices and Dices. You can also, under Ironhead454, under everything. You can also find me on YouTube with Mates of Fate, doing the World War Cthulhu. And,
Nice.
yeah,
Punch that squid in the face.
Can't wait for episode 3 to come out. That's going to be great. And you can also find me on TikTok under Ironhead454, making fun of my kids, doing stupid videos with our pets, stuff like that.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Nice.
And then finally, Julie, where can people find you on the internet?
Hi, you can find me mostly in Discord because I enjoy the peace and quiet of not having 1,000 social media things to check. On Discord, I am Dritzed. Don't really sleep much, so if you message, I may message you back at weird times, and you may not figure out which time zone I'm really in because of it. It's totally fine. It's okay. All is well. That's just what life is. So.
Thank you, Julie.
But that's basically it.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt. I help to run things around here. You can catch all of our amazing content here on Twitch, usually Thursdays and Fridays. You can also catch it on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for being a part of the experience. Go ahead and give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, give us whatever you want to do, as long as you're part of part of our little family here. Join us on Discord, which you can find as I awkwardly place the Discord command into chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll find it in the doobly-doo below. We love to talk with people about all kinds of different gaming experiences and how they have found their way to us. But yeah, you'll find us doing all kinds of stuff. Blade Runner, we'll come back in January. We've got Alien RPG, as Patrick stated. We've got Vaesen. We've got Everyday Heroes, Escape from New York coming soon. We also have our perennial favorites of Ravenloft Domains of Dread, and Call of Cthulhu coming back in January as well. Can't wait to see all of those things come to fruition. You guys are the best, and I can't imagine doing this with any cooler people than you. I want to say as well, thank you finally to our sponsors for this evening, Into the AM, which are this amazing creator of fine geekware. I am wearing them all the time. I'm wearing a t-shirt that has a really great logo on it. I'm not sure if you guys can see that very well, but I'll try this again. Look at this. Is it? Oh, see, it blanks up.
Hey, disappeared.
I've got one more.
Hey.
There we go. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you want to see more, just go to intotheam.com. They have some really great stuff, and their t-shirts are super, super soft, and they don't shrink in the wash. And if you go and type Slices Swag as a coupon at checkout, you'll get 10% off your purchase when you do so. That's it. Thank you so much for those of you who have stayed in chat to watch our awesome, crazy Blade Runner Session 1 of Fiery Angels. We'll be back with more very, very soon. But until we see each other again, folks, thank you so much for watching. And remember, take care of each other, but do not forget to take care of yourselves. Love you all. Bye.